Well, hello, dear participants. So I'm really thrilled to invite you on this exciting journey into the world of incident management and response. So this course is actually designed to help you develop your skills in the ever-evolving field of cybersecurity and take your career to the next level. Now, seeing you here shows that you're ready to embark on this journey. And guess what? That's truly exciting. So throughout this course, you will learn the fundamental concepts of incident management and response. We'll explore what incident management and response refer to, how they relate to each other, and why they're so important. We'll also bring these concepts to life with real-world scenarios so that you can clearly see how to apply this knowledge in your day-to-day work. And then as we move forward, we'll dive into essential frameworks and standards like ITIL and ISO IEC 27035. So understanding how these guides can assist you in managing and responding to incidents is going to be key to becoming an expert in cybersecurity. Naturally, we'll also take a deep dive into technology, from incident management and response tools to how AI and machine learning are revolutionizing the security field. Yeah, we'll cover it all. You'll see how these tools and technologies can make your job easier. You'll learn how to handle cybersecurity incidents, which techniques to use, and how to respond quickly and effectively in real-life situations. We'll also be focusing on specialized topics like cloud security, malware analysis, business continuity, threat intelligence, and more. Mastering these areas in today's digital world will give you a significant advantage. Now, another important aspect of this course is practical applications. Yeah, you'll prepare for the real world with simulations, drills, and crisis management steps. We'll also explore incident management in remote work environments and post-incident analysis. Finally, we'll emphasize the importance of continuous improvement and learning. You'll discover how to keep yourself updated in this field, explore certification and professional development opportunities. Remember, cybersecurity is a constantly evolving field, and this journey never truly ends. So throughout this course, our goal is to provide you with the knowledge and tools to feel confident and competent in this field. Your enthusiasm and eagerness to learn will make this process way more enjoyable. So we'll be here by your side every step of the way, guiding you through this journey. So why don't we just start this adventure together now and take your cybersecurity expertise to the highest level. All right, hello everybody. Now today we're diving into the world of incident management. So picture this. Your organization is a ship sailing smoothly across calm waters. Suddenly, storm clouds gather, and you find yourself in the middle of a tempest. Incident management is your strategy to weather this storm and bring your ship safely into harbor. So incident management is about identifying, managing, and resolving incidents to minimize their impact on business operations. So you got to think of it as a structured approach to handling unexpected events that disrupt normal activities. So you got to think of it as a structured approach to handling unexpected events that disrupt normal activities. The goal, again, is to restore normalcy as quickly as possible, ensuring minimal impact on the organization. So first, you identify and categorize the incident. Is it a minor glitch or a major disruption? Knowing the difference is crucial. Next, you respond by taking appropriate action. This could mean alerting the right teams or even invoking specific protocols to mitigate the issue. Finally, review the incident after resolution. What happened? Why did it happen? How can we prevent it from happening again? So by now, you have a pretty solid understanding of how to manage incidents effectively, ensuring smooth sailing for your organization. All right, so now that we've covered incident management, let's talk about incident response. So imagine you're a firefighter responding to an emergency call. Incident response is your immediate reaction to the fire, how you assess the situation, the steps you take to put out the flames, and how you ensure everyone's safety. Incident response is the immediate action taken to address a security breach or cyber attack. It involves detecting, investigating, and containing the incident to prevent further damage. So first, detect the incident by using monitoring tools to identify unusual activity that might indicate a breach. Secondly, investigate. Gather all the information about the incident to understand its scope and impact. Thirdly, contain the incident. Isolate affected systems to prevent the spread of damage. And finally, eradicate the threat. Remove malicious code or compromised accounts to eliminate the root cause. Now remember, a swift and efficient incident response can significantly reduce the damage caused by an incident. So by the end of all this, you will be equipped with the skills to act swiftly and decisively when incidents occur. So if we take a closer look, here are the essential stages of incident response. Preparation. Preparation is the cornerstone of an effective incident response plan. This phase involves getting everything in order before an incident occurs. It includes defining roles, establishing communication channels, and ensuring everyone knows their responsibilities. The critical steps include develop and document an incident response plan, IRP, that outlines steps for various types of incidents. Regularly train your team on incident response procedures. Ensure that your tools and technologies, such as SIM, IDS-IPS, are correctly configured and up to date. Identification. See, the faster you identify an incident, the quicker you can respond. Early detection is crucial to minimizing damage. Critical steps here include continuously monitoring networks and systems for signs of suspicious activity. Use automated tools to correlate events and alert your team to potential incidents. Establish clear criteria for what constitutes an incident that requires a response. Containment. So once an incident is identified, the next step is to contain it. This means preventing the incident from spreading and causing more damage. Critical steps would include implementing immediate containment measures, such as isolating affected systems. Decide whether to opt for short-term, quick containment or long-term, strategic containment, depending on the severity and the type of incident. Document the containment steps for future reference and analysis. Eradication. So after containing the incident, the next step is to find and eliminate the root cause. Addressing only the symptoms won't prevent the incident from happening again. Critical steps here would be remove any malicious software or unauthorized access points. Patch vulnerabilities or update configurations that were exploited. Verify that the threat has been completely eradicated before moving on to recovery. And recovery. Recovery involves bringing affected systems and services back online in a controlled manner, ensuring that the threat has been fully neutralized and won't recur. Critical steps. Restore systems from clean backups. Monitor systems closely after bringing them back online to ensure they're functioning correctly and securely. Communicate with stakeholders about the recovery status and any impacts on services. Reporting. Once the incident is resolved, it's essential to reflect on what happened and how it was handled. This phase is about learning from the incident to improve your response in the future. Detailed reports are usually generated by the SOC analysts for future reference. critical steps. Conduct a post-incident review with all relevant team members. Document what went well and what didn't, and update your incident response plan accordingly. Share lessons learned with a broader organization to raise awareness and prevent similar incidents in the future. So we've explored both incident management and response, but really, what are the differences and the similarities between them? Incident management is the overarching process that involves planning, preparing, and managing incidents throughout their life cycle. It focuses on minimizing the impact of incidents on business operations and ensuring continuity. Incident response, on the other hand, is a subset of incident management. It deals with the immediate actions taken when an incident occurs. The focus is on rapid detection, containment, and resolution of the incident. Both processes, though, share common goals: protecting the organization and minimizing damage. They require effective communication, coordination, and collaboration among teams to be successful. While incident management is about prevention and preparation, incident response is about reaction and resolution. You see, together they form a comprehensive approach to handling incidents and ensuring business resilience. Incident management and incident response. These two terms play a critical role in the world of cybersecurity, and they can sometimes be confused with one another. Let's explore the differences and similarities between these concepts through a scenario. Now, just imagine for a moment that you work at a global technology company called Acme Tech. One morning, the IT team notices unusual activity in the systems. Network traffic suddenly spikes, and some servers begin showing abnormal behavior. This could be a sign of a large-scale cyber attack. At this point, two crucial processes come into play: incident management and incident response. Acme Tech's Chief Information Security Officer, or CISO, decides to initiate both processes to manage the incident and minimize its impact. Let's start by looking at the incident management team. This team is responsible for the overall management of the incident and business continuity. In other words, they focus on minimizing the impact of the attack and ensuring that the company's operations continue as smoothly as possible. So here's what they do. The first step involves the crisis management team trying to understand the impact of the attack on the company. Which systems have been affected? Has there been any disruption in operations? What about customer service? These are the questions they aim to answer. Once the impact is clear, it's crucial to communicate with both internal and external stakeholders. For example, the customer service department is informed about the incident so they can communicate effectively with customers. Similarly, media and public statements are planned at this stage. Now, if operations are disrupted, alternate solutions are put in place. Backup systems and temporary business processes are implemented. For instance, if the primary servers are compromised, backup servers are activated to ensure business continuity. Then, after the incident is resolved, the process doesn't just end there. The team reviews how the incident was managed and identifies lessons for the future. How can similar incidents be prevented? What areas need improvement? These are the questions they seek to answer. Now, why don't we shift our focus to the incident response team? This team directly intervenes in the attack, solving technical issues and restoring the system to its normal state. Here's what the incident response team does. The first task is to identify the source of the attack. Where is the attack coming from? How did it start? Which vulnerability was exploited? These questions are answered, and the attacker's traces are followed. After the analysis, the team works to stop the attack. Firewall rules are updated, the attacker's IP addresses are blocked, and the affected servers are quarantined. Any malware left behind by the attackers is identified and removed. Systems are restored from backups, returning them to normal. Additionally, logs and traces of the incident are collected and preserved for future investigations. And once the incident's over, the existing security measures are reviewed. What's missing? What can be improved? If necessary, encryption protocols are updated, employees receive additional cybersecurity training, and monitoring tools are enhanced. Now, throughout this scenario, we can see how incident management and incident response actually complement each other, but also carry different responsibilities. Let's have a look at the scope and objectives. Incident management is concerned with the overall management of the incident and business continuity, while incident response deals directly with the technical aspects of the incident. The management team plays a strategic role, whereas the technical team focuses on operational and technical interventions. Then the incident management process continues before, during, and after the incident, whereas incident response typically comes into play when the incident occurs and continues shortly afterward. Management is more long-term, while response is more focused on the active period of the incident. The incident management team usually consists of managers, business continuity experts, and communicators, while the incident response team is composed of cybersecurity experts and IT personnel. The management team stays in touch with all stakeholders. The response team concentrates on technical details. The incident management team works to prevent disruption in business processes, while the incident response team is responsible for stopping the attack and minimizing damage. One ensures business continuity, while the other focuses on technically stopping the attack. When we look at it this way, we can see how both incident management and incident response are crucial and how they actually complement each other. Both processes ensure that a company is prepared for cybersecurity incidents. But just remember, these two processes work hand in hand, although each has its unique roles and responsibilities. Now, in today's digital age, organizations face numerous threats, from cyber attacks, system failures. It runs the gamut. So without a robust incident management and response strategy, these threats can lead to significant financial losses, reputational damage, even legal repercussions. So incident management and response actually help organizations to quickly restore operations after an incident, reducing downtime and financial loss. Protect sensitive information from breaches and unauthorized access. Maintain customer trust by ensuring their data is secure. Comply with regulations and avoid potential fines. By prioritizing incident management and response, organizations can build resilience against incidents, ensuring long-term success and stability. Cybersecurity is a lot like life. Hindsight often provides clarity. But see, learning from the mistakes of others can actually be incredibly effective. So in this section, we're going to explore various case studies and real-world examples that highlight the importance of security measures and the serious consequences that can arise from negligence. Because, come on, let's be honest, nothing says mistake quite like a data breach worth millions. You remember, Equifax was a company meant to protect your credit information. However, in 2017, they made a mistake that would give IT professionals nightmares. A data breach exposed the personal information of 147 million people. Social security numbers leaked. Birth dates, yep, those too. If you were a hacker, it was like finding a treasure chest. Now, this breach occurred due to an unpatched vulnerability in the Apache Struts framework. The update had been available for months, but Equifax failed to apply it. This situation was like ignoring the warning light on your car and just waiting for the engine to fail. We did learn a couple of things. Update management. Apply updates as quickly as you would grab the last slice of cake at a party. Vulnerability scanning. Regular scans could have identified these risks early on. After all, being cautious is better than making headlines for all the wrong reasons. In 2013, the retailer Target learned a very tough lesson. Sometimes the greatest damage can come from the people fixing your air conditioning. Hackers gained access to the payment card information of 40 million customers by exploiting details stolen from a third-party HVAC supplier. Oh yeah, you heard that right. You see, the attackers used the supplier's credentials to infiltrate Target's network and install malware on the POS systems. This was truly an unfortunate situation for Target. Did we learn anything? Third-party risk management. When granting third parties access to your systems, make sure you're confident in their security. Trust, but verify first. Network segmentation. If your network were a fortress, segmentation would be the gates. It makes it harder for unwanted guests to roam freely. SolarWinds was a company you probably hadn't heard of until 2020, when hackers injected malicious code into their software updates. These updates were downloaded by many customers, including government agencies. In the cybersecurity world, this was akin to distributing poison candy to children on Halloween. You see, the malicious code allowed hackers to access sensitive data undetected for months. By the time the breach was discovered in late 2020, the damage had already been done. Again, we learned a few things. Supply chain security. The quality of your software supply chain directly affects the security of your final product. Always verify your sources. Advanced persistent threats, APT. So these hackers are the elite in the cyber world. Be prepared for a long battle and invest in top-tier threat detection strategies. In 2017, global shipping giant Maersk found itself in uncharted waters when it was hit by the NotPetya ransomware. The attack brought operations to a standstill worldwide, causing an estimated $300 million in damages. And for a time, it seemed like the ships might be stranded at sea. NotPetya spread through Maersk's network, encrypting data and disabling systems in over 130 countries. It was like a global tour of ransomware. We did learn a couple of things, though. Business continuity planning, strong backup, and disaster recovery plans can quickly restore operations. Maersk was able to recover faster because they were prepared for the unexpected. Global threat awareness. You see, in a connected world, threats from one area can affect you everywhere. Keep an eye on global events, as they can unexpectedly impact your business. When Marriott acquired Starwood Hotels, they inherited not only the properties, but also an active data breach. For 4 years, hackers had been accessing the personal information of 500 million guests. This was akin to an unwelcome guest overstaying their visit and ordering room service for every meal. Anyway, the breach, which began in 2014, wasn't discovered until 2018. And by that time, the attackers had stolen everything from passport numbers to credit card details. Did we learn anything? Mergers and acquisition security, or M&A security. You see, before acquiring a company, you've got to conduct a thorough security audit. This helps in identifying potential issues beforehand. Detailed detection. Without continuous monitoring and anomaly detection, your systems become vulnerable. These can allow attackers to stay undetected for longer periods. Now, these case studies demonstrate that cybersecurity requires attention and strategy. By learning from the mistakes and implementing proper measures, you can be better prepared against malicious actors. And remember, a good sense of humor might not prevent a breach, but it certainly can help you cope with the aftermath. All right, hello everybody. So in the world of cybersecurity, technical knowledge is just as important as ethics. Think of it this way. All the knowledge and skills you possess, kind of like superpowers. But with every superpower comes great responsibility, right? That's why ethics is an integral part of cybersecurity. Ethics in cybersecurity is at the heart of everything we do. Why is that? Because information in the wrong hands can cause significant harm. As cybersecurity professionals, our duty isn't just to protect systems, but also to ensure we do so without compromising our ethical values. Say, for example, you've discovered a security vulnerability. Using that vulnerability for personal gain instead of fixing it is not only illegal, it's also unethical. White hat hackers, or ethical hackers, report the vulnerabilities they find responsibly, helping to make systems more secure. It's like noticing an open window in someone's house, and instead of sneaking in, you alert the homeowner to close it. Now, another critical aspect of ethical hacking is responsible disclosure. See, if you find a vulnerability, instead of broadcasting it to the world immediately, you share it with the relevant parties first to ensure it gets fixed. This is essentially about preventing harm before it occurs. Moreover, as we carry out our work, we must also pay attention to issues like data privacy and user confidentiality. Remember, we're not just protecting systems, but also safeguarding people's private lives and information. So, my friends, no matter how much technical knowledge we have, it's incomplete without ethical values. In our work, we must always strive to do the right thing and use our superpowers to protect rather than harm others. Looking forward to seeing you in the next section. All right, hello everybody. So today we're going to talk about the impact of ITIL on incident management. So we're going to get started by understanding just what ITIL is and why it's so important. Now, you may know ITIL stands for the Information Technology Infrastructure Library, and it provides a set of best practices for IT service management. It helps align IT services with business needs. You can think of ITIL as a comprehensive guide that assists organizations in delivering effective and efficient IT services. Sounds pretty good, huh? But what does ITIL say about incident management? Well, according to ITIL, an incident is an unplanned interruption to an IT service or reduction in the quality of an IT service. The primary goal of incident management is to restore normal service operation as quickly as possible in order to minimize the impact on business operations. ITIL emphasizes the importance of a service desk as a single point of contact for incident reporting. The service desk is responsible for logging incidents, categorizing and prioritizing them, and ensuring timely resolution. To implement effective incident management, we need well-defined policy and process documents. Policy documents outline the principles and rules for incident management, including roles and responsibilities, escalation paths, and communication protocols. Process documents provide step-by-step procedures for handling incidents, including detection, logging, investigation, resolution, and closure. These documents also help ensure consistency and clarity across the organization, enabling staff to respond to incidents efficiently and effectively. Measuring the performance of incident management processes is also crucial for continuous improvement. ITIL recommends several key metrics. Incident resolution time. That's the average time taken to resolve incidents. Shorter times indicate more efficient processes. First call resolution rate. The percentage of incidents resolved on first contact with a service desk. Higher rates demonstrate effective initial support. Customer satisfaction. Feedback from users on the incident management process. This metric provides insights into the quality of service. Regular analysis helps identify areas for improvement and optimize incident management practices. In summary, ITIL provides a structured framework for managing incidents quickly and effectively, with a focus on restoring normal operations swiftly and minimizing business impact. By developing clear policies, processes, and metrics, organizations can enhance their incident management capabilities. Well, my friends, the time has come to talk about ISO IEC 27035 and what it offers for information security incident management. ISO IEC 27035 is part of the ISO IEC 27000 family of standards. It's focused on information security management. This standard provides guidance for detecting, reporting, assessing, and responding to information security incidents. ISO IEC 27035 helps organizations effectively handle security threats and minimize their impact. So first, we'll need to start with the preparation phase. So in this phase, it's essential to establish policies and procedures, define roles and responsibilities, and ensure that the necessary resources are in place for incident response. After that, we can move on to the detection and reporting phase. So here, mechanisms should be implemented to identify security incidents and ensure prompt reporting to the appropriate authorities. Next comes the assessment and decision-making process. In this phase, it's crucial to evaluate the impact and severity of incidents to determine the appropriate response actions. And in the response phase, action should be taken to contain, mitigate, and recover from incidents while maintaining detailed records of the process. And then finally, we should conduct post-incident reviews to identify improvements and learn lessons to prevent future occurrences. Now, compliance with legal and regulatory requirements is a critical aspect of ISO IEC 27035. Organizations must be aware of data protection laws and regulations, such as GDPR, that mandate incident reporting and response procedures. Adhering to these requirements not only helps avoid legal penalties, but also builds trust with customers and stakeholders. Let's look at a couple of real-world examples, shall we? Equifax data breach of 2017. One of the largest breaches in history, exposing the personal information of over 147 million people. The breach highlighted the importance of timely software updates and patch management. Target data breach, 2013. Hackers gained access to 40 million credit and debit card records. This incident underscored the need for robust network segmentation and monitoring. So these cases emphasize the critical role of incident management in mitigating the impact of security breaches, as well as the need for continuous improvement. To summarize this, ISO IEC 27035 provides a comprehensive framework for managing information security incidents. By following its guidelines, organizations can enhance their incident response capabilities and protect their information assets. All right, hello and welcome back, everybody. Now, today we will explore ITIL's impact on incident response and how organizations can effectively handle unexpected IT issues. Now, I'm sure you remember ITIL stands for the Information Technology Infrastructure Library, and it offers a set of best practices for IT service management. It's designed to align IT services with business needs, serving as a comprehensive guide for delivering effective and efficient IT services. So from the perspective of incident response, ITIL defines an incident as an unplanned interruption to an IT service or reduction in the quality of an IT service. The primary goal of incident response under ITIL is to restore normal service operations quickly to minimize the impact on business processes. So ITIL emphasizes the importance of a well-coordinated service desk, which acts as a single point of contact for incident reporting and response. The service desk plays a critical role in logging, categorizing, and prioritizing incidents, facilitating swift and effective responses. To support effective incident response, ITIL suggests developing detailed policy and process documents. The policy documents outline the principles and rules for incident response, including roles and responsibilities, escalation paths, and communication protocols. Process documents provide a step-by-step procedure for responding to incidents, covering detection, logging, investigation, resolution, and closure. Having these documents ensures that response efforts are consistent and well-coordinated across the organization, enabling staff to manage incidents effectively and efficiently. Measuring the effectiveness of incident response efforts is also vital for continuous improvement. Key metrics recommended by ITIL include response time, which is the average time taken to respond to incidents. Shorter times indicate more efficient processes. Resolution rate, the percentage of incidents resolved within the agreed timeframes. Higher rates reflect effective incident response. Stakeholder feedback, insights from users and stakeholders regarding the incident response process provide valuable feedback on the quality of service. Regularly analyzing these metrics helps organizations identify areas for improvement and optimize their incident response strategies. So in summary, ITIL provides a structured framework for managing incident response efficiently, focusing on minimizing business impact and restoring normal operations quickly. By developing clear policies, processes, and metrics, organizations can enhance their incident response capabilities as well as resilience. All right, so now let's delve into ISO IEC 27035 from the perspective of information security incident response. ISO IEC 27035. It's part of the ISO IEC 27000 family of standards, focused on information security management. This standard provides comprehensive guidance on detecting, assessing, responding to, and learning from information security incidents. It equips organizations with strategies to handle security threats effectively and reduce their impact. First, it's essential to start with a preparation phase. In this phase, establishing robust incident response policies and procedures, clearly defining roles and responsibilities, and ensuring the necessary resources are in place to support response efforts are crucial. After the preparation phase, detection and reporting mechanisms should be implemented to swiftly identify security incidents and ensure prompt reporting to relevant authorities. The next phase is the assessment and decision-making process, where the impact and the severity of incidents are evaluated to determine the most appropriate response actions. In the response phase, the focus shifts to containing, mitigating, and recovering from incidents, while maintaining detailed records to ensure transparency and accountability. Finally, post-incident reviews are conducted to identify opportunities for improvement and extract lessons learned to prevent future occurrences. Compliance with legal and regulatory requirements is a crucial aspect of ISO/IEC 27035, especially from an incident response perspective. Organizations must understand data protection laws and regulations, such as GDPR, which mandates specific incident reporting and response procedures. Adhering to these requirements helps avoid legal penalties and builds trust with customers and stakeholders. How about we go through a couple of real-world examples? Sony PlayStation Network breach 2011. Now, this incident resulted in the PlayStation Network being hacked, with personal information of over 77 million users stolen. It highlighted the importance of strong encryption techniques and data protection measures. Yahoo data breach 2013 to 2014. Yahoo announced that 3 billion user account details were stolen. This incident underscored the importance of security awareness and user education, as well as strong authentication processes. See, these cases emphasize the vital role of incident response in mitigating the impact of security breaches, as well as a need for continuous improvement and learning. So in summary, ISO/IEC 27035 provides a comprehensive framework for managing information security incidents from a response perspective. By following its guidelines, organizations can strengthen their incident response capabilities, protect their information assets, and enhance their overall security posture. All right, hello everybody, welcome back. So, in today's video, we'll compare ITIL and ISO/IEC 27035 from the perspectives of incident management and incident response. We'll take a closer look at these two essential frameworks and see how they're similar and different. Let's get started. We'll first have a look at the similarities. Goals and objectives. Both frameworks aim to provide an effective and efficient response when IT services and information security are disrupted. They seek to minimize the impact on business operations. Both standards offer a structured approach, helping organizations develop policies, processes, and procedures to manage or respond to incidents consistently. And of course, continuous improvement. ITIL and ISO/IEC 27035 recommend using metrics to measure the performance of incidents and response processes and achieving continuous improvement based on this data. Legal compliance. Oh yeah. Both frameworks emphasize compliance with legal and regulatory requirements, such as ensuring adherence to data protection laws like GDPR. Now, how about those differences? Focus areas. ITIL focuses on broader IT service management processes and aims to quickly resolve incidents to restore normal service operations. ISO/IEC 27035 specifically targets information security incidents, providing more technical and specialized responses in order to manage security threats effectively and protect information assets. ITIL incident management defines an incident as any interruption or reduction in the quality of an IT service, and it is addressed as part of a broader service management framework. ISO/IEC 27035 incident response focuses on information security incidents, dealing with security threats and breaches, requiring a more in-depth analysis from a cybersecurity perspective. ITIL emphasizes processes such as logging, categorizing, and resolving incidents, with a strong focus on the service desk function. ISO/IEC 27035 focuses on detecting, assessing, responding to security incidents, and conducting post-incident reviews with an emphasis on technical response and recovery actions. ITIL concentrates on broad service performance metrics like response time, resolution rate, and customer satisfaction. ISO/IEC 27035 focuses on security-specific metrics, including response times, the number of security breaches, and post-incident improvements to measure security effectiveness. So you see how this comparison highlights the similarities and differences between ITIL and ISO/IEC 27035, helping organizations determine which standard best suits their needs. Now, both frameworks provide significant contributions to incident management and response, assisting organizations in improving their service quality and security. So I hope you now better understand the impact of ITIL and ISO/IEC 27035 on incident management and response. Next time, we'll dive even deeper. For now, take care. All right, well, hello, and in today's video, we're going to delve into the NIST SP 800-61 Revision 2 Guide. It's a critical role player and gold standard in cybersecurity incident response. Now, this guide provides in-depth information on how to structure cyber incident response processes and serves as a guide for many organizations. So the NIST SP 800-61 Revision 2 was initially developed in the United States to set standards in the field of cybersecurity. And over time, as cyber threats evolved and became more complex, this guide was continually updated and refined. It offers a comprehensive framework for planning, implementing, as well as improving cyber incident response processes. NIST SP 800-61 is used worldwide by organizations across various sectors. It's particularly utilized in finance, healthcare, government, and education sectors in order to enable organizations to respond quickly and effectively to cybersecurity incidents. But additionally, the guide is adaptable to organizations of all sizes, from small businesses to large corporations. The importance of this guide in cyber incident response becomes more apparent, especially given the complex cyber attacks and constantly changing threat landscape. It guides organizations on how to effectively respond to cyber attacks, how to analyze and report incidents, and how to manage post-incident improvement processes. The impact of NIST SP 800-61 Revision 2 is not only in enhancing the capacity to handle current cybersecurity incidents, but also in helping organizations become more resilient against future cyber threats. Now, given the continual learning and adaptation required in the field of cybersecurity, this guide is an essential reference for cybersecurity professionals. All right, hello everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for sticking with us. So, in this video, we're going to discuss the tools used for incident management in the world of cybersecurity. Now, I know these topics can sometimes be quite complex and confusing, but I don't want you to worry because we're going to tackle everything step by step. Now, first, we're going to talk about what incident management tools are and why they're important. So, incident management tools actually help us manage the process from detecting a cybersecurity incident to resolving it more efficiently and effectively. These tools allow incidents to be handled more quickly and accurately as well, minimizing potential damage. So now let's take a look at popular incident management platforms. For example, platforms like ServiceNow and Jira are widely used for recording, tracking, and managing incidents. These platforms are known for their user-friendly interfaces and powerful features. Features such as categorizing and prioritizing incidents help manage the incident management process more systematically. Now, another important tool is Splunk. Splunk enables us to analyze large amounts of data allowing us to identify the root causes of incidents more quickly. Splunk actually presents the data it collects in meaningful reports and visualizations, making the incident management process more effective. So in the following videos, we will provide theoretical information with examples and scenarios on how these tools are used. Because understanding how these tools work and how they are configured is a significant advantage in the field of cybersecurity. All right, well, hello again, everybody. We are here to talk about incident response tools. Now, in the world of cybersecurity, using these tools effectively is crucial. So we're going to dive into some of the details and explore what these tools can do together. So firstly, incident response tools are software and systems that enable us to respond quickly and effectively to cybersecurity incidents. Our goal is to detect threats quickly, understand them, and neutralize them. So we'll start by discussing SIM systems. For example, tools like IBM QRadar and Splunk monitor and analyze security events in real time. These systems allow us to detect threats quickly and respond to incidents from a centralized panel. Another important group of tools is EDR systems. Solutions like CrowdStrike Falcon and Carbon Black detect and analyze threats on endpoints. These tools monitor suspicious activities on devices such as computers and servers, allowing us to intervene whenever necessary. In addition, SOAR platforms automate security processes and accelerate incident response. Tools like Palo Alto Networks' Cortex XSOAR manage information flow between different security tools, coordinating and optimizing processes. Finally, we can cover IDS/IPS systems. Systems like Snort and Cisco Firepower detect and prevent unauthorized access attempts on networks and systems. These tools strengthen network security by identifying attack signatures and help us stop threats. So why do you suppose it's so important to learn about how to use these tools? Well, because these tools allow security teams to respond to threats more quickly and strengthen an organization's security posture. With automation and analytical capabilities, it becomes easier to deal with potential threats. You might not be surprised to know training and practice are crucial here. Understanding how tools are configured and working on different scenarios helps you optimize incident response processes. Knowing each tool with its strengths and using it in the best way possible is a significant advantage in the world of cybersecurity. All right, that's it for now, everybody. As you learn to use these incident response tools effectively, you can respond to cybersecurity incidents more powerfully and quickly. All right, hello again, everybody. Welcome back. Now let's dive a little bit deeper into advanced detection and monitoring. So this is one of the most exciting and dynamic areas of cybersecurity. First of all, let's talk about intrusion detection systems, IDS, and security information and event management, SIM systems. Now these systems help us detect potential threats to our networks and systems and take countermeasures. IDS systems analyze network traffic and detect abnormal behavior. Tools like Snort are especially popular due to their open source nature, as well as support from a broad user community. Snort monitors network traffic in real time and detects threats that match specific rules. SIM systems, on the other hand, collect security data from various sources, analyze it, and reveal potential threats. SIM systems are often used by large organizations and allow incidents to be evaluated from a broader perspective. So let's focus on two popular SIM tools right now, IBM QRadar and Splunk. So IBM QRadar is a powerful SIM tool, widely used for analyzing and managing security incidents. QRadar provides real-time threat detection and analysis. Additionally, by normalizing the data it collects, it enables us to obtain a broader security view. QRadar offers a significant advantage to security teams in rapidly identifying and responding to threats. And on the other hand, Splunk is also a robust SIEM solution. With its big data analytics capabilities, Splunk thoroughly analyzes security incidents and provides meaningful reports. Splunk's user-friendly interface and extensive integration capabilities make it a preferred solution for many organizations. Now, another interesting topic is honeypots and honeynets. These tools are designed systems to attract attackers and analyze their behavior. Honeypots, configured similarly to real systems, help us understand how attackers operate. This provides important insights for improving our defense strategies. So in this video, we'll focus on the theoretical foundation of these tools. Understanding how each tool works and in what situations they are used will give you a significant advantage in the incident response process. So we're confident that this information gives you that advantage on your cybersecurity journey. All right, hello everybody, welcome back. In the world of cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML, are no longer just elements of science fiction. They have become real powerhouses. You can think of them as a kind of digital intuition. AI and ML can analyze vast amounts of data and reach conclusions much faster than we ever could. So it's like having a Sherlock Holmes in the field of cybersecurity. These technologies give us a significant advantage, especially in threat hunting and attack detection processes. AI can spot the earliest signs of an attack, allowing us to stop it before it even begins. It's kind of like catching a malicious actor red-handed while they're still trying to set a trap. Machine learning, on the other hand, is a system that continuously learns and evolves. For example, it learns how a user typically behaves in a system, what files they access, what times they are active, and alerts us when there's any deviation. It's like setting up an alarm system in a house, where the alarm doesn't just go off when someone enters, but when someone who shouldn't be there tries to get in. Now, of course, these technologies are not only limited to defense. Cybercriminals are also using AI and ML to make their attacks more sophisticated. But remember, this is a game of cat and mouse. No matter how advanced the technology, a good defense strategy should always stay one step ahead. The applications of AI and ML in cybersecurity are not confined to threat hunting and attack detection. They can also play a major role in risk management, anomaly detection, and even automating security controls. This makes things easier for us, but also adds a layer of complexity. So in conclusion, the role of AI and ML in cybersecurity is growing, and these technologies provide us with the ability to build stronger and more proactive defense mechanisms. And friends, mastering these technologies will be your greatest weapon as a cybersecurity experts of the future. See you next time. Well, hello everybody, welcome back. So in this video, we'll focus on a crucial topic in the world of cybersecurity, the incident response process. As cyber attacks and security breaches become more complex every day, being able to respond quickly and effectively to such incidents is critical to ensuring the security of an organization. The incident response process consists of 5 main phases: identification, containment, eradication and recovery, and post-incident activities. The first phase, identification, involves quickly and accurately recognizing incidents. Our security teams use advanced monitoring tools and techniques to detect anomalies and threats in systems. Key indicators to watch for during this process include unauthorized access attempts, unexpected data transfers, sudden changes in system performance, and user reports. Such anomalies are often signs of a potential security incident. For example, if an organization observes more data leaving its network than usual, this could indicate a data breach. So at this stage, we try to quickly understand what the incident is and its potential impact. After identification, we move to the containment phase in order to limit the incident's impact. Here, our goal is to prevent the incident from spreading and minimize its damage. Short-term containment measures are part of emergency plans and help keep the incident under control. For example, in the case of a virus attack, isolating infected systems from the network is a crucial step to prevent the virus from spreading to other systems. Long-term containment strategies are developed to address the root cause of the incident, as well as prevent similar incidents from recurring. These strategies include applying security patches, updating access controls, and increasing user awareness. The third phase is eradication and recovery. So in this phase, the traces of the incident in the system are removed, and the affected systems are returned to normal operations. Malicious software is completely removed from systems. System files are repaired, and necessary updates are made. Additional security measures are also implemented to eliminate the root cause of the incident. The recovery process is crucial to ensuring the organization's operational continuity. And during this phase, systems are securely restored from backups, and security controls are reevaluated. During recovery operations, the security of user accounts, data integrity, and system performance are closely monitored. The final phase, post-incident activities, involves analyzing the causes and consequences of the incident. This process helps the organization be better prepared for similar incidents in the future. Post-incident reports assist in identifying security vulnerabilities and improving processes. In this phase, we review our processes and security policies based on the lessons learned from the incident. We develop training programs, enhance security awareness, and strengthen our technological infrastructure. You see, this way, we ensure that our organization becomes more resilient to cyber threats. And finally, let's discuss the incident management process. See, incident management systematically defines how an incident will be handled from start to finish and ensures the organization is prepared for cyber threats, as well as respond quickly and effectively. The first step is the identification of the incident and notifying the relevant teams. Security information and event management, SIM systems, and other monitoring tools assist in the rapid detection of incidents. User reports and automated alerts also play a significant role in this process. Accurate identification of incidents is crucial for a quick response. Incidents that are not correctly identified may not be addressed in a timely manner, leading to increased damage. Identified incidents are assessed and prioritized based on their severity and impact. This ensures that resources are used efficiently and allows for a quick response to the critical incidents. Factors such as the impact of the incident, potential damage to the organization, and reputational risk are considered during the assessment. Measures to prevent the spread of the incident are implemented at the response and containment stage. Emergency response teams take necessary steps to minimize the impact of the incident. Containment strategies are determined based on the type and impact of the incident. For example, during a cyber attack, network access controls may be updated or security patches applied to cut off the attacker's access. The eradication and recovery stage involves removing the damage caused by the incident and returning affected systems to normal. Systems are restored from backups, and security patches are applied during this stage. During the recovery process, data integrity and system performance are closely monitored. Additionally, necessary precautions are taken by focusing on the root cause of the incident to prevent similar incidents. Then after the incident, the causes and impacts are analyzed in detail. Processes, policies, and security measures are reviewed and improved. This stage helps the organization enhance its incident management capabilities and prevent similar incidents in the future. Post-incident analysis provides valuable information for managing future incidents more effectively. And this information helps the organization continuously improve its security policies and processes. Now, let's focus on handling cybersecurity incidents. Incident handling involves not only the technical aspects of the incident, but also human factors. Building a strong team structure and accurately categorizing incidents are vital for effective incident handling. Team building and management is a critical step for successfully executing incident handling. It's essential to form a team with both technical expertise and communication and coordination skills. This team can implement incident response plans and develop both short-term and long-term strategies. The roles and responsibilities of team members should be clearly defined. Each member should know what to do during an incident. Additionally, managing communication channels within the team effectively ensures uninterrupted information flow. Accurately categorizing and prioritizing incidents ensures that resources are used efficiently. Incidents are categorized based on their severity and potential impact. For example, a data breach may be prioritized over a system performance issue. Now, during this process, factors such as the scope of the incident, potential financial damage, and reputational risk are considered. While priority is given to critical incidents, necessary measures are also taken for less impactful incidents. Short-term actions are implemented to reduce the immediate impact of the incident and bring it under control. For example, during an attack, isolating affected systems or temporarily closing affected accounts may be taken as measures. Long-term actions are developed to strengthen the organization's security infrastructure and prevent similar incidents from recurring. This involves updating security policies, increasing security training for employees, and making technological investments. This process helps the organization become more resilient to cyber threats and better prepared for future incidents. Well, hello everybody. So today in this video, we're diving into a topic that's become increasingly important in the modern business world: cloud and virtualization security. Now, cloud technology offers businesses great flexibility and efficiency, but it also introduces new security challenges. We'll explore the challenges of securing cloud environments, as well as the strategies we can employ to address them. Cloud environments have distinct security dynamics compared to physical data centers. One of the biggest challenges is the lack of complete control over where data is physically located and who can access it. Data being managed by third-party providers can pose potential security risks. Additionally, variations in service quality and security policies among cloud providers can make security more complex. Now, another major challenge is ensuring data isolation in multi-tenant environments. In cloud settings where different customers share the same physical infrastructure, it's crucial to prevent one customer from accessing another's data. And this requires implementing proper access control and encryption methods in order to ensure data confidentiality and integrity. Cloud environments are also vulnerable to advanced persistent threats, APTs, which are sophisticated and prolonged cyber attacks. Now, these threats can evade traditional security measures and persist in systems undetected, making cloud security even more challenging. So protecting against APTs requires a combination of advanced threat detection technologies and proactive security measures. To secure cloud environments, we can implement several strategies. First and foremost, data encryption is one of the most crucial security measures. Encrypting data both in transit and at rest helps prevent unauthorized access. Identity and access management, IAM, is used to control who can access cloud resources and what actions they can perform. Strong authentication methods, especially multi-factor authentication, also play a critical role in preventing unauthorized access. Regular security audits and application security testing are essential to monitor and address vulnerabilities in cloud environments. Continuous monitoring allows for the detection and remediation of security gaps, ensuring ongoing protection. Another strategy is to establish a comprehensive set of security policies and procedures. These policies ensure consistent application of security practices and preparedness for potential incidents. Implementing a zero-trust architecture can further enhance security by continuously verifying every request, as though it originates from an open network, regardless of its origin. Now let's examine some case studies to highlight best practices. A financial services company successfully prevented data breaches during its cloud migration by implementing strong data encryption and IAM solutions. By conducting regular security audits and increasing employee training, they became more prepared for security incidents. Another example involves a healthcare company that ensured application security by performing security tests and closing vulnerabilities before launching a cloud-based application. This approach protected patients' personal health information, ensuring confidentiality and integrity. A leading e-commerce company implemented network segmentation in their cloud infrastructure in order to isolate sensitive workloads from less critical operations. This practice helped minimize the risk of lateral movement during a potential breach, effectively containing threats. Now let's move into malware analysis and forensics. See, as cyber attacks become more sophisticated, the need for malware analysis and post-incident investigations increases. So we'll explore the techniques used in malware analysis and the forensic processes that follow an incident. Malware analysis is generally conducted using two main approaches: static analysis and dynamic analysis. Static analysis involves examining the malware without executing it. This process is carried out by analyzing the source code or binary files. Static analysis helps us understand the functions the malware might perform and the system resources it might access. Tools like disassemblers and decompilers are often used to reverse engineer malware binaries, revealing potential malicious behaviors and code obfuscation techniques. Dynamic analysis, on the other hand, involves executing the malware in an isolated environment to observe its behavior. Virtual machines or specially configured test environments are used to observe how the malware affects the systems. Dynamic analysis allows us to examine the real-time behavior of malware, including network communication patterns and attempts to modify system settings. Both types of analysis are critical for understanding how malware operates and then determining effective countermeasures. Advanced dynamic analysis techniques such as sandboxing allow for automated behavior tracking, providing valuable insights into the malware's actions. Post-incident forensics aims to understand how a cybersecurity incident occurred, which systems were affected, and how the malware infiltrated the systems. During this process, digital evidence is collected and analyzed. In the forensic process, the first step is to determine the scope and impact of the incident. Then, system logs, network traffic, and other digital evidence are examined to understand how the attack unfolded. This process provides valuable lessons for preventing similar incidents in the future. Forensics also involves a collection of evidence that may be used in legal proceedings following an incident. Therefore, the proper collection and preservation of digital evidence are crucial components of the forensic process. Advanced forensic techniques such as memory analysis allow investigators to capture and analyze volatile data in a system's RAM, providing insights into running processes and potential rootkit infections. File system forensics focuses on examining storage media to recover deleted files and trace attacker activities. So you see, incident forensics is not only reactive, but also provides proactive insights to strengthen an organization's security posture. By understanding attack patterns and indicators of compromise, organizations can enhance their detection capabilities and reduce the time to respond to future incidents. And finally, let's discuss disaster recovery and business continuity. It's crucial for businesses to plan for maintaining operations and quickly returning to normal in the event of a disaster. Let's explore how to plan for business continuity and develop and test disaster recovery plans. Business continuity planning encompasses measures taken to ensure an organization can maintain operations even in unexpected situations. This planning process involves identifying critical business functions and defining the resources and procedures needed to sustain them. Business continuity plans typically begin with a risk assessment and impact analysis. These analyses determine the risks an organization faces and the potential impacts on business operations. Based on these assessments, alternate solutions and processes are developed for prioritized business functions. Creating a business impact analysis, or BIA, helps identify time-sensitive processes and dependencies, establishing recovery time objectives, RTOs, and recovery point objectives, RPOs. This analysis guides decision-making during disruptions and ensures a focus on minimizing downtime and data loss. Disaster recovery plans are specifically designed to enable an organization to quickly recover its information systems following major system failures, natural disasters, or cyber attacks. These plans include steps for system backups, data recovery processes, and rapid restoration of critical infrastructure. The effectiveness of disaster recovery plans relies on regular testing. These tests help identify and improve plan deficiencies. During testing, personnel roles and responsibilities are reviewed and necessary training is provided. Testing scenarios can include simulated cyber attacks or data loss events to evaluate the organization's readiness to respond effectively. These exercises reveal weaknesses in response strategies and help fine-tune the disaster recovery plan. The regular review and updating of plans ensure they are continuously improved in line with changing business requirements and technological advancements. This process ensures organizations are more resilient and prepared during disasters. Implementing redundancy and failover mechanisms is also crucial in disaster recovery planning. By having redundant systems and automatic failover capabilities, organizations can minimize service interruptions and ensure seamless continuity. Well, hello everyone. So, in this video, we're diving into an exciting area of cybersecurity. That's right, threat intelligence and hunting. So threat intelligence helps organizations better understand potential or existing attacks to strengthen their security. It's like having a radar that detects incoming storms, but these storms are cyber threats. Now, the greatest advantage of threat intelligence is that it allows organizations to prioritize threats and develop appropriate defenses against them. This enables security teams to focus their resources on the most critical threats and use them more effectively. Now, threat hunting, on the other hand, this is the proactive process of searching for cyber threats that may have bypassed existing security defenses. But the main goal here is to examine your systems and identify unusual activities and potential threats. Threat hunters develop hypotheses and, based on intelligence, consider what might be happening in their systems to test these assumptions. So by employing methods such as anomaly detection and examining the tactics of threat actors, they track down threats. Now, the tools and the expertise used in this process ensure that threats are detected in a timely manner and effectively mitigated before they do any damage. For threat intelligence to be used effectively, the data must be made actionable. For example, threat intelligence data can be integrated into SIM systems to enhance alerts and incident detection. Additionally, updating security controls and collaborating with industry stakeholders to share intelligence are among the best measures to take against threats. See, this way organizations can improve their overall security posture and respond to incidents a lot more swiftly. So now let's focus on a particularly sophisticated type of cyber threat: advanced persistent threats, or APTs. So APTs are highly organized and targeted attacks, often backed by nations, states, or organized crime groups. APTs aim to maintain undetected access within a network for an extended period of time, often for months or even years. These types of attacks have specific objectives, such as data collection, espionage, or infrastructure disruption. Detecting APTs is possible through the collaboration of technology, processes, and people. Continuous network monitoring is critical to detecting unusual activities and signs of APTs. Additionally, behavioral analytics and the integration of threat intelligence can help identify the presence of APTs, and a lot more quickly. In order to prevent APTs, adopting a multi-layered defense strategy is essential. This includes regularly updating and patching systems, implementing strict access controls, and educating employees about phishing and social engineering risks. Examining past APT attacks provides valuable insights into how these threats operate. For example, the Stuxnet worm targeted industrial control systems and demonstrated the potential for cyber attacks to cause physical damage. The APT-29 group, also known as Cozy Bear, has conducted cyber espionage activities targeting government and private sector organizations worldwide. See, by studying these cases, we can better understand APT tactics and enhance our defenses against such threats. So now we're going to focus on threats that can originate from within an organization: insider threats. Insider threats can come from individuals such as employees, contractors, or business partners who may have malicious intent or inadvertently cause harm. Identifying and mitigating these threats is essential for maintaining organizational security. Detecting insider threats can be challenging, because these threats often originate from individuals who already have legitimate access to the organization's systems and data. However, unusual access patterns, data exfiltration, and sudden changes in employee behavior can indicate the presence of insider threats. In fact, there are 3 types of insider threats: malicious insiders, negligent insiders, and compromised insiders. Malicious insiders may intentionally steal data or sabotage systems for personal gain or revenge. Negligent insiders can inadvertently cause harm by mishandling data or falling victim to social engineering attacks. Compromised insiders are those whose credentials have been stolen or coerced into cooperating with external attackers. Mitigating insider threats requires implementing various strategies. User activity monitoring is essential for detecting suspicious behavior. Data loss prevention, DLP solutions, can prevent unauthorized data transfers and alert security teams to potential breaches. Access management should ensure that users only have access to resources appropriate for their roles. Building a culture of security awareness can help employees be more aware of potential risks and consequences. Establishing an insider threat program that includes behavioral analytics and anomaly detection can enhance an organization's ability to detect and respond to potential insider threats in real time. And finally, let's explore security automation and orchestration, which is transforming our approach to cybersecurity. As cyber threats evolve and become more frequent, automating security processes becomes essential. Automation helps us perform repetitive and time-consuming security tasks more quickly and efficiently. The main benefits of security automation include speed, consistency, and scalability. Automated processes can detect and respond to threats much faster than manual methods. Additionally, automation ensures that security policies and procedures are applied consistently, and organizations can scale their security operations without a potential increase in resources. Security automation can be applied to various tasks, such as incident response, vulnerability management, and threat detection. Automating incident response processes enables threats to be quickly contained and remediated. Automatically scanning for and patching vulnerabilities reduces exposure to attacks. By using machine learning and artificial intelligence in threat detection, we can identify anomalies and potential threats more effectively. Security orchestration involves the seamless coordination and integration of different security tools and processes. Orchestration tools create a unified security ecosystem by integrating various security tools and data sources. This facilitates the management and response to incidents more quickly and informatively. It also enhances communication and collaboration among security teams. To successfully implement automation, it's important to start small and prioritize high-impact use cases. Additionally, designing automation solutions that can adapt to changing security needs and technologies supports the continuous improvement of security operations. Now, my friends, no matter how hard security teams around the world try, security breaches and incidents are inevitable. In such cases, the wise approach is to be prepared for when an incident does happen so that nothing catches us off guard. That's why digital forensics and incident response, or DFIR, has become an indispensable topic in defensive security. DFIR, I know sometimes you'll hear DFIR, but it stands for Digital Forensics and Incident Response. No matter how you slice it, it involves the collection of forensic data from digital devices such as computers, media devices, and smartphones to investigate security incidents. This field helps security professionals identify the traces left by attackers during a security breach, determine the extent of the compromise, and restore the environment to its state prior to the incident. DFIR essentially allows us to play digital detective. When a security breach occurs, experts in this field track the digital footprints left by the attackers, helping us understand the scope of the incident and decide how to revert the system to its original condition. In short, DFIR serves as both a protector and the restorer of our digital world. DFIR assists security professionals in numerous ways some of which include these: uncovering evidence of attacker activity within the network and distinguishing genuine incidents from false alarms, effectively removing the attacker to eliminate their presence from the network, determining the scope and timeline of a breach, which aids in communicating with relevant stakeholders, identifying vulnerabilities that led to the breach, and understanding what changes are necessary to prevent future occurrences, analyzing attacker behavior to preemptively block further intrusion attempts by the attacker, sharing information about the attacker with the community. Now, these points highlight the critical role DFIR plays in the realm of cybersecurity. Each step enables us to detect threats more swiftly and respond more knowledgeably. That's why DFIR has become an indispensable part of our cybersecurity strategy. DFIR, which stands for Digital Forensics and Incident Response, requires expertise in both areas, as its name would imply. Here are the skills needed for each critical field. Digital forensic experts. These specialists are adept at identifying forensic artifacts or evidence of human activity within digital devices. Incident response professionals. With deep knowledge in cybersecurity, these experts use forensic information to identify activities of interest from a security perspective. DFIR professionals are knowledgeable in digital forensics and cybersecurity, and then combine these domains to achieve their objectives. Digital forensics and incident response are often tackled together because they are highly interdependent. Incident response benefits from the insights gained through digital forensics. Likewise, digital forensics derives its goals and scope from the incident response process, which defines the extent of forensic investigation. Artifacts are pieces of evidence that indicate that an activity has been conducted on a system. During DFIR operations, artifacts are gathered to support hypotheses or assertions about an attacker's activity. For example, if we claim that an attacker used Windows registry keys to maintain persistence on a system, we can support our claim with a mentioned registry key. See, in this case, the referred to registry key is considered an artifact. Therefore, collecting artifacts is an essential part of the DFIR process. Artifacts can be collected from the endpoint or a server's file system, memory, or network activity. When conducting DFIR activities, it's crucial to maintain the integrity of the evidence we collect. So for this reason, certain best practices have been established in the industry. So it's important to remember that any forensic analysis will alter the evidence. Thus, evidence is initially gathered and made right-protected. Subsequently, a copy of this right-protected evidence is used for analysis. This process ensures that our original evidence remains uncontaminated and safe during analysis. Should our copy under investigation become corrupted, we can always return and create a new copy from the preserved evidence. Now, one of the most critical aspects of preserving the integrity of evidence is the chain of custody. When evidence is collected, it must be securely stored. Anyone not involved in the investigation should not have access to the evidence, as this would break the chain of custody. A broken chain of custody raises doubts about the integrity of the data and weakens the case by introducing unknown variables that cannot be resolved. For example, if a hard drive image is transferred from the person who captured it to the person who will analyze it, during this transfer it ends up in the hands of someone not qualified to handle such evidence, well, we cannot be sure if they handle the evidence correctly and did not compromise it with their actions. You follow? So in digital forensics and incident response, it's crucial to remember that digital evidence is often volatile. And this means that if it's not captured in time, it could be lost permanently. For instance, data stored in a computer's memory, RAM, will be erased when the computer's turned off because RAM only holds data as long as the power is on. Some sources of evidence are more volatile than others, of course. For example, a hard drive is a persistent storage device, so it retains data even if the power is lost. So this makes a hard drive less volatile than RAM. During DFIR, it's vital to understand the order of volatility among different sources of evidence so that you can capture and preserve them accordingly. So in our example here, you would need to preserve the data in RAM first, before the hard drive, in order to avoid losing any crucial information stored in the memory. So now that we've collected the artifacts and preserved their integrity, the next step is to present this information in a way that can be fully understood. To analyze events efficiently and accurately, we need to create a timeline. The timeline puts all the activities in chronological order, and this process is called timeline creation. This process gives the investigation perspective and helps bring together information from various sources in order to create a story of how events unfolded. In the world of cybersecurity, various exciting tools have been developed to make the DFIR process more efficient and way faster. These tools help security professionals enhance their capabilities while saving valuable time. We'll explore some of these tools together. Eric Zimmerman is a security researcher who has developed several tools for performing forensic analysis on the Windows platform. These tools simplify tasks like registry analysis, file system examination, timeline creation, and more. CAPE. Crawl, Artifact, Parser, and Extractor. CAPE. Now this is another valuable tool created by Eric Zimmerman. This tool automates the collection and parsing of forensic artifacts and can help build a timeline of events. Autopsy is an open-source forensics platform. This assists in analyzing data from digital media, such as mobile devices, hard drives, and removable drives. Various plugins for Autopsy expedite the forensic process, extracting and presenting valuable information from raw data sources. Volatility is a tool that performs memory analysis on memory captures from both Windows and Linux operating systems. It's a powerful tool that can extract critical information from the memory of a machine under investigation. Redline is an incident response tool developed and freely distributed by FireEye. This tool collects forensic data from a system and assists in analyzing the gathered information. Velociraptor is an advanced endpoint monitoring, forensics, and response platform. It's open source, but very powerful. While all these tools are incredibly useful in the DFIR process, it really is essential to understand the overall process we follow to achieve our goals. In security operations, one of the most prominent uses of digital forensics is to perform incident response. So in this video, we'll learn about the incident response process and observe how digital forensics plays a key role in this task. Various organizations have published standardized methods for conducting incident response. NIST, for example, has outlined a process in their SP-800-61 Incident Handling Guide, and that includes these steps: preparation, detection and analysis, containment, eradication, and recovery, post-incident activity. And similarly, SANS has established an Incident Handler's Handbook, which defines these steps: preparation, identification, containment, eradication, recovery, lessons learned. Now, the steps defined by SANS are often summarized with the acronym PICERL, usually referred to as Pickerel, which makes them a little easier to remember. But as we can see, the steps specified by SANS and NIST are essentially the same. while NIST combines containment, eradication, and recovery into one step. SANS separates them into individual steps. Post-incident activity and lessons learned are comparable, while identification and detection and analysis carry the same implications. All right, so now that we understand that the two processes are similar, let's briefly go over what each of these steps actually means. We'll explain the steps since they're easier to remember with the acronym, but, as mentioned above, they're pretty much identical to the steps defined by NIST. All right, friends, here we go. We're taking a closer look now at the key phrases of the incident response process. So we'll begin by establishing an incident response team, training this team, and providing the necessary tools and resources. During the preparation phase, organizations aim to limit the number of potential incidents by implementing a set of controls based on the results of risk assessments. However, despite all precautions, some residual risk will always remain. Therefore, detecting security breaches is crucial for alerting the organization when an incident occurs. Depending on the severity of the incident, the organization can mitigate its impact by containing it and eventually moving into the recovery phase. So at this stage, it's common to return to the detection and analysis process. For example, to check if other systems have been infected while eradicating a malware incident. Once the incident has been properly managed, the organization prepares a report detailing the cause, cost, and the steps needed to prevent future incidents. Now, why don't we dive into these critical phases of the incident response process? Preparation, detection and analysis, containment, eradication and recovery, and post-incident activity. And we're diving all the way into the details. Incident response methodologies generally emphasize not only establishing an incident response capability, but also ensuring that systems, networks, and applications are sufficiently secure themselves to prevent incidents. Although the incident response team is not typically responsible for incident prevention, it is a critical component of the success of the incident response programs. So this section provides basic advice on preparing to handle incidents, as well as preventing them. So these lists can serve as a starting point for discussions about the tools and resources any organization's incident response team may need. For example, smartphones can be a resilient means of emergency communication and coordination. An organization should have multiple, separate and different communication and coordination mechanisms in case one mechanism fails. Here's how the incident response communications and facilities break down. Contact information for team members and others inside and outside the organization, so primary and backup contacts, such as law enforcement and other incident response teams. Information may include phone numbers, email addresses, public encryption keys, as well as instructions for verifying the contact's identity. On-call information for other teams within the organization, including escalation information. Incident reporting mechanisms such as phone numbers, email addresses, online forms, and secure instant messaging systems that users can use to report suspected incidents. At least one mechanism should allow people to report incidents anonymously. An issue tracking system for tracking incident information, status, etc. Smartphones to be carried by team members for off-hour support and on-site communications. Encryption software to be used for communications among team members within the organization and with external parties. For federal agencies, software must use a FIPS-validated encryption algorithm. A war room for central communications and coordination. If a permanent war room is not necessary or practical, the team should create a procedure for procuring a temporary war room when needed. Secure storage facility for securing evidence and other sensitive materials. Now let's break down incident analysis hardware and software. Digital forensic workstations and/or backup devices to create disk images, preserve log files, and save other relevant incident data. Laptops for activities such as analyzing data, sniffing packets, and writing reports. Spare workstations, servers, and networking equipment, or their virtual equivalents, which may be used for various purposes, such as restoring backups and trying out malware. Blank removable media. Portable printer to print copies of log files and other evidence from non-networked systems. Packet sniffers and protocol analyzers to capture and analyze network traffic. Digital forensic software to analyze disk images. Removable media with trusted versions of programs to be used to gather evidence from systems. Evidence gathering accessories, including hardbound notebooks, digital cameras, audio recorders, chain of custody forms, evidence storage bags and tags, and evidence tape to preserve evidence for possible legal actions. And some incident analysis resources include port lists, including commonly used ports and Trojan horse ports. Documentation for OSs, applications, protocols, and intrusion detection and antivirus products. Network diagrams and lists of critical assets, such as database servers. Current baselines of expected network, system, and application activity. Cryptographic hashes of critical files to speed incident analysis, verification, and eradication. And the incident mitigation software would include access to images of clean OS and application installations for restoration and recovery purposes. Keeping the number of incidents at a reasonable level is crucial for protecting the organization's business processes. If security controls are insufficient, more incidents may occur, which can overwhelm the incident response team. Now, this can lead to slower and incomplete responses, resulting in a greater negative business impact, for example, more extensive damage, longer periods of service, and data unavailability. Now, this document does not provide specific advice on securing networks and systems and applications. Although incident response teams are generally not responsible for securing resources, they can be advocates for sound security practices. Periodic risk assessments of systems and applications should determine what risks are posed by combinations of threats and vulnerabilities. This should include understanding the applicable threats, including organization-specific threats. Each risk should be prioritized, and the risks can be mitigated, transferred, or accepted until a reasonable overall level of risk is reached. Another benefit of conducting risk assessments regularly is that critical resources are identified, allowing staff to emphasize monitoring and response activities for those resources. All hosts should be hardened appropriately using standard configurations. In addition to keeping each host properly patched, hosts should be configured to follow the principle of least privilege, granting users only the privileges necessary for performing their authorized tasks. Hosts should have auditing enabled and should log significant security-related events. The security of hosts and their configuration should be continuously monitored. Many organizations use Security Content Automation Protocol, or SCAP, Expressed Operating System and Application Configuration Checklists, in order to assist in securing hosts consistently and effectively. The network perimeter should be configured to deny all activity that is not expressly permitted. This includes securing all connection points, such as virtual private networks, the VPNs, and dedicated connections to other organizations. Software to detect and stop malware should be deployed throughout the organization. Malware protection should be deployed at the host level, for example, the server and workstation operating systems. The application server level, for example, email server and web proxies, as well as the application client level, for example, email clients, instant messaging clients, etc. Users should be made aware of policies and procedures regarding appropriate use of networks, systems, and applications. Applicable lessons learned from previous incidents should also be shared with users, so they can see how their actions could affect the organization. Improving user awareness regarding incidents should reduce the frequency of incidents. I say should. But IT staff should be trained so that they can maintain their networks, systems, and applications in accordance with the organization's security standards. So incidents can occur in so many different ways that it's really impossible to create a step-by-step guide for every single one. See, organizations should be generally prepared to handle any incident, but they should focus primarily and particularly on being ready for incidents that involve common attack vectors. Now, different types of incidents require different response strategies, of course, but the attack vectors listed here are not intended to provide a definitive classification for incidents. Rather, they offer a foundation for defining more specific response procedures based on common attack methods. An attack initiated from removable media or a peripheral device, such as malware spreading onto a system from an infected USB flash drive. Attrition is an attack that uses brute force methods to compromise, degrade, or destroy systems, networks, or services, like a DDoS attack aimed at impairing or denying access to a service or application, or a brute force attack against authentication mechanisms such as passwords, CAPTCHAs, or digital signatures. An attack executed from a website or web-based application, for example, a cross-site scripting XSS attack used to steal credentials, or a redirect to a site that exploits a browser's vulnerability and installs malware. An attack delivered through an email message or attachment, for instance, exploit code disguised as an attached document or a link to a malicious website embedded in the email body. This is an attack involving the replacement of something harmless with something malicious, such as spoofing, man-in-the-middle attacks, rogue wireless access points, and SQL injection attacks, all of which involve impersonation. Any incident resulting from a violation of the organization's acceptable use policies by an authorized user, excluding the above categories. For example, a user installs file-sharing software that leads to the loss of sensitive data, or a user engages in illegal activities on a system. The loss or theft of a computing device or media used by the organization, such as a laptop, smartphone, or authentication token. Now, this just refers to attacks that don't necessarily fit into any of the other categories. Now, this section focuses on recommended practices for handling any type of incident. Now, for many organizations, the most challenging part of the incident response process is accurately detecting and accessing potential incidents, determining whether an incident has occurred, and if so, the type, extent, and severity of the problem. So this challenge is due to a combination of three factors. Incidents can be detected through many different means, with varying levels of detail and accuracy. Automated detection capabilities include network-based and host-based IDPSs, antivirus software, and log analyzers. Incidents can also be detected through manual methods, such as user-reported problems. Some incidents, though, have obvious signs that are easy to detect, while others are almost undetectable. The volume of potential signs of incidents is typically very high. For example, it's actually very common for an organization to receive thousands or even millions of intrusion detection sensor alerts per day. Proper and efficient analysis of incident-related data requires deep, specialized technical knowledge and extensive experience. The signs of an incident fall into two main categories: precursors and indicators. A precursor is a sign that an incident may occur in the future. Indicators are signs that an incident may have already occurred or may be occurring right now. And most attacks do not have any identifiable or detectable precursors from the target's perspective. If precursors are detected, the organization may have an opportunity to prevent the incident by adjusting its security posture in order to prevent the target from being attacked. But at the very least, the organization could monitor activity involving the target more closely. Let's have a look at a couple of examples of precursors. Web server log entries indicating the use of a vulnerability scanner. An announcement of a new exploit targeting a vulnerability in the organization's mail server. A threat from a group stating they will attack the organization. Now, sure, while precursors are relatively rare, indicators are all too common. There are too many types of indicators to list exhaustively, but let's share a few examples. A network intrusion detection sensor alerts when a buffer overflow attempt occurs against a database server. Antivirus software alerts when it detects that a host is infected with malware. A system administrator notices a file name with unusual characters. A host records an auditing configuration change in its log. An application logs multiple failed login attempts from an unfamiliar remote system. An email administrator sees a large number of bounced emails with suspicious content. A network administrator notices an unusual deviation from typical network traffic patterns. Precursors and indicators can be identified from various sources. For example, alerts from systems like IDPS, SIM, antivirus, and anti-spam software are some of the most common sources. Similarly, file integrity checking software and information from third-party monitoring services can also be very helpful in this regard. Logs, such as those from operating systems, services, applications, network devices, and network flows, are also important sources to consider. But additionally, publicly available information about new vulnerabilities and exploits is another crucial source. Lastly, people both from within the organization and from other organizations can serve as valuable sources of information in this process. Now, if every precursor or indicator were always accurate, incident detection and analysis would be really easy. But unfortunately, it's not the case. For example, indicators provided by a user reporting that a server is down can often be incorrect. Similarly, intrusion detection systems can give false alarms, false positives. Now, this makes incident detection and analysis one of the most challenging tasks. See, each indicator needs to be evaluated to determine its validity. Then what complicates the situation even further is the sheer number of indicators, which can be in the thousands or even millions each day. Identifying the real security incidents among all these indicators can be a truly exhausting job. So the incident response team needs to act quickly to analyze and validate each incident, following a predefined process and documenting every step taken. So when the team suspects that an incident has occurred, they should conduct an initial analysis to determine the scope of the incident, what networks, systems, or applications are affected, who or what initiated the incident, and how the incident is occurring. For example, what tools or attack methods are being used, what vulnerabilities are being exploited, So this initial analysis should provide enough information for the team to prioritize their next steps, such as containing the incident and performing a deeper analysis. Initial analysis and validation are indeed challenging tasks. We do have a few recommendations to make the process easier and more effective. Profile networks and systems. Understand normal behaviors. Create a log retention policy. Correlate events. Synchronize all host clocks. Build and use a knowledge base. Use internet search engines for research. Run packet sniffers to collect additional data. Filter the data. Now, if an incident response team suspects that an incident has occurred, they should immediately start recording all details related to the incident. A simple notebook can be an effective tool for this, but laptops, audio recorders, and digital cameras can also serve the same purpose. Documenting system events, conversations, and observed changes in files helps in handling the problem more efficiently, systematically, and with fewer errors. See, every step taken from the time the incident is detected to its resolution needs to be documented and time-stamped. Every document related to the incident should be dated and signed by the incident handler. This information can also be used as evidence in court if legal action is pursued. And whenever possible, teams should work in pairs. One person can record and log events while the other handles the technical tasks. The incident response team should keep records of the incident status and other pertinent information. Using an application or database like an issue tracking system helps ensure that incidents are handled and resolved promptly. This tracking system should include this information: the current status of the incident, new, in progress, forwarded for investigation, resolved, etc. A summary of the incident. Indicators related to the incident. Other incidents related to this incident. Actions taken by all incident handlers on this incident. Chain of custody, if applicable. Impact assessments related to the incident. Contact information for other involved parties, for example, system owners and system administrators. A list of evidence gathered during the incident investigation. Comments from incident handlers. Next steps to be taken, for example, rebuild the system, upgrade an application, etc. The incident response team should secure incident data and restrict access to it, as this data often contains sensitive information, such as details on exploited vulnerabilities, recent security breaches, and users who may have engaged in inappropriate actions. For example, only authorized personnel should have access to the incident database. Communications, for example, emails and documents related to the incident, should be encrypted or otherwise protected so that only authorized personnel can read them. Prioritizing which incidents to handle first is one of the most crucial decisions in the incident response process. Due to resource limitations, incidents should not be handled on a first-come, first-served basis. Instead, incidents should be prioritized based on relevant factors. Here we'll outline. Functional impact of the incident. Incidents targeting IT systems typically affect the functionality of those systems, leading to negative consequences for the users. Incident response teams need to carefully assess how the incident impacts the current functionality of the affected systems. Additionally, the potential future functional impact, if the incident is not immediately contained, should also be considered. Information impact of the incident. Incidents can compromise the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of an organization's information. For example, a malicious actor may exfiltrate sensitive data. Incident response teams must evaluate how such data breaches could impact the organization's overall mission. If the exfiltrated data belongs to a partner organization, it may also affect other entities. Recoverability from the incident. The size of the incident and the type of resources affected will determine the time and resources required for recovery. So in some cases, it may not be possible to fully recover from an incident. For example, when the confidentiality of sensitive information has been compromised. And it may not make sense to spend limited resources on a lengthy response process unless the effort is directed towards preventing similar incidents in the future. In other cases, an incident may require far more resources than the organization has available. Incident response teams need to carefully weigh the effort needed for recovery against the value it will create and consider any related incident management requirements. Then, by combining the functional impact on the organization's systems with the impact on its information, the overall business impact of the incident can be determined. For example, a DDoS attack may temporarily reduce user access to a server, whereas an unauthorized root-level access could lead to the exfiltration of personally identifiable information, PII, potentially causing long-term damage to the organization's reputation. Let's walk through the functional impact categories. None, so there's no effect on the organization's ability to provide all services to all users. Low, minimal impact. The organization can still provide all critical services to all users, but has lost some efficiency. Medium, the organization has lost the ability to provide a critical service to a subset of users. High, the organization can no longer provide some critical services to any users. Information impact categories include none, so no information was exfiltrated, altered, deleted, or otherwise compromised. A privacy breach. Sensitive, personally identifiable information, PII, belonging to employees, customers, or others was accessed or exfiltrated. Proprietary breach. Unclassified proprietary information, such as protected critical infrastructure information, PCII, was accessed or exfiltrated. Integrity loss. Sensitive or proprietary information was altered or deleted. Recoverability effort categories include regular. Recovery time is predictable with existing resources. Supplemented. Recovery time is predictable with additional resources. Extended. Recovery time is unpredictable. Additional resources and external help are required. Not recoverable. Recovery from the incident is not possible. For example, sensitive data has been exfiltrated and publicly released. An investigation should be launched. Now, as everybody should know by now, when an incident occurs, the very first step is to quickly analyze it and decide on the order in which it should be addressed. However, once this decision is made, one of the most important things to do is to notify the relevant people in a timely manner. You know what that means. You need to ensure that the right people receive the right information at the right time so they can fulfill their roles. So our incident response policies already outline what information should be communicated to whom and when. But let's have a look at who we're actually talking about here. The CIO, Chief Information Officer, Head of Information Security, Local Information Security Officer, other incident response teams, external incident response teams, system owner, human resources, public affairs, legal department, U.S. CERT, and law enforcement. Now, of course, depending on the nature and the severity of the incident, we're going to need to plan how to reach these people. So, for example, we might use different communication methods depending on the situation. Email, website, phone calls, in person, voicemail box, paper. And let's not forget that informing the right people at the right time during an incident is one of the most critical parts of the incident management process. Therefore, planning ahead and executing this correctly is of great importance to us. Now, my friends, there are a lot of crucial steps going on here with a lot of crucial information. But you must agree it's crucial to contain an incident before it overwhelms resources or causes any further damage. See, in most cases, incidents require containment, so it's important to consider this early in the incident management process. Containment gives us time to determine the most suitable remediation strategy. A key part of containment is the decision-making process, such as deciding whether to shut down a system, disconnect it from the network, or disable certain functions. Now, these decisions become much easier when we have predefined strategies and procedures in place to contain incidents. Right. So therefore, as organizations, we should identify acceptable risks when dealing with incidents and develop our own strategies accordingly. Now, of course, containment strategies vary depending on the type of incident. For example, containing malware delivered through email is quite different from containing a DDoS attack. And that's why it's important to create separate containment strategies for each major type of incident, and then clearly document these strategies to make the decision-making process that much easier. When determining the appropriate strategy, we've got a few key criteria to consider. The potential damage to resources and risk of theft. The need to preserve evidence. Service continuity, for example, network connectivity, services provided to external parties, etc. The time and resources required to implement the strategy. The effectiveness of the strategy. For example, partial containment or full containment. The duration of the solution. For example, an emergency workaround to be removed within a few hours, a temporary solution to be removed within a couple of weeks, a permanent fix, that type of thing. Now, in some cases, my friends, organizations might choose to use a sandbox to monitor the attacker as a form of containment. And that's typically in order to gather additional evidence. However, before applying this strategy, the incident response team should consult with their legal department to determine whether or not it's feasible. In fact, it's important to avoid using methods other than sandboxing to monitor the attacker's activities. If we know that a system's been compromised and allow the compromise to continue, we could be held responsible if the attacker uses the compromised system to attack other systems. You follow? A delayed containment strategy can be risky because the attacker may escalate unauthorized access or compromise additional systems. Now, another important point to consider with containment is the possibility that some attacks may cause further damage when they are contained. For example, consider a scenario where a compromised system is running a malicious process that pings another system periodically. If the incident responder tries to contain the incident by disconnecting the compromised system from the network, well, the pings will fail, which could trigger the malicious process to delete or encrypt all data on the system's hard drive. Right? So, it's important not to assume that disconnecting a system from the network will automatically prevent further damage. This cannot be stressed enough, but we'll leave it there. Hopefully you understand. Now, my friends, the primary goal of gathering evidence during an incident is to resolve the issue. Right? However, this evidence may also be needed in legal proceedings. Now, in such cases, it's crucial to clearly document how all evidence, especially compromised systems, has been preserved. When collecting evidence, it's important to adhere to the laws and regulations we've developed based on previous discussions with our legal team and relevant law enforcement agencies in order to ensure that the evidence is admissible in court. Additionally, evidence must always be traceable. Whenever evidence is transferred from one person to another, The transfer should be detailed using a chain of custody form, and both parties need to sign it. It's essential to maintain a detailed log for all evidence, including this information: the identifying information, for example, the location, serial number, model number, host name, MAC addresses, and IP addresses of a computer. The name, title, and phone number of each person who collected or handled the evidence during the investigation. The time and date, including the time zone, of each instance of evidence handling. The locations where the evidence was stored. So, friends, gathering evidence from computer systems can sometimes be challenging. It's usually best to collect evidence from the relevant system as soon as we suspect that an incident has occurred. Now, many incidents trigger a dynamic chain of events, and in such cases, capturing an initial snapshot of the system is often way more effective in identifying the problem and its source than most any other action we could take at this stage. From an evidentiary standpoint, it's so much better to take a snapshot of the system in its current state before the incident response team, system administrators, or anybody else inadvertently alters the machine's condition during the investigation. It's also important to inform users and system administrators of the steps they need to take to preserve evidence. If you would like more information on evidence preservation, just refer to the NIST SP 800-86 Guide to Integrating Forensic Techniques into Incident Response. Very enlightening. Now, my friends, during incident response, system owners or other team members may sometimes want to identify the attacking host or hosts. While this information can be important, incident response teams should primarily focus on containment, eradication, and recovery. See, trying to identify the attacking host can be a time-consuming and often futile effort, which might divert the team from their main goal, which is minimizing the impact on the business. All right. Now, here, let's get into some of the most common activities involved in identifying attacking hosts, because you know what the priorities are. New incident response team members often focus on the attacking host's IP address. Now, they might attempt to verify that the address is not spoofed by checking connectivity. However, this only shows whether a device at that address responds or not. A lack of response doesn't necessarily mean the address isn't real. For instance, a device could be configured to ignore ping and traceroute requests. Additionally, keep in mind that the attacker may have used a dynamic IP address that has since been reassigned to someone else. Performing an internet search using the apparent source IP address of an attack can help us gather more information about the attack. For example, you might come across a mailing list message about a similar attack. But friends, many groups collect and consolidate incident data from various organizations into incident databases. This kind of information sharing can take many forms, such as trackers and real-time blacklists. Organizations can also check their own knowledge bases or issue tracking systems for related activities. Incident response teams can also monitor communication channels that an attacker might use. For example, many bots use IRC as their primary communication method. Additionally, attackers may gather in specific IRC channels to brag about their successes and share information. However, my friends, it's important to treat this kind of information as a potential lead rather than a confirmed fact. Now, my friends, after an incident has been contained, it actually may be necessary to completely remove any traces of the incident. This involves actions like removing malware, disabling compromised user accounts, and identifying and addressing all security vulnerabilities that attackers have been able to exploit. During the eradication phase, it's crucial to identify all affected hosts within the organization so that they can be secured. In some cases, eradication may be either unnecessary or carried out alongside the recovery process. Now, in the recovery phase, administrators work to restore systems to normal operations, verify that systems are functioning correctly, and implement necessary security measures to prevent similar incidents from happening again. Recovery might even involve tasks like restoring systems from clean backups, rebuilding systems from scratch, replacing compromised files with clean versions, applying patches, changing passwords, and strengthening network security, for example, firewall rules, router access control lists. But it's during this time it's also common to increase a level of system logging and network monitoring. Once a resource has been successfully attacked, it often becomes a target again, or other resources within the organization might be attacked in a similar manner. So it's important to carry out eradication and recovery in a phased and planned manner to make the remediation process that much more effective. Now, for large-scale incidents, recovery may take months. Therefore, the initial phases should focus on implementing relatively quick, within a few days to weeks, and effective changes to prevent further incidents. Later phases will focus on longer-term changes, for example, infrastructure improvements, and ongoing efforts to keep the organization secure. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. So in this video, we'll focus on the steps taken after a cybersecurity incident known as the post-incident activity phase. Just as the preparation phase is crucial, the actions taken after an incident are equally important. This phase involves not only addressing the impact of the incident, but also learning from it to prevent similar occurrences in the future, as well as to strengthen existing security measures. So why don't we take a look at some of the details of each component of this process? Forensic analysis is a thorough examination process conducted after an incident. The goal is to determine how the attack was carried out, what methods the attacker used, and which systems were affected. Forensic analysis aims to trace all the activities of the attacker and understand the steps they took. So we'll break down the steps involved in forensic analysis. Immediately after the incident, all digital traces from the systems are collected. This step begins with gathering critical data related to the incident. System logs, as these logs contain information on what actions were taken, when they occurred, and which users accessed which data. Network traffic logs. These logs provide details about whether the attack came from external sources, which IP addresses were involved, and what type of data flows occurred. Application logs, because these logs show any abnormal behaviors of applications, unauthorized access attempts, and changes made to the system. Now, it's essential that no trace is lost during this data collection. These pieces of evidence are crucial for understanding how the attack was executed. Next, based on that collected data, the affected systems are thoroughly examined. The steps in the examination process go like this: malware detection. The presence of any malware or backdoors left by the attacker will be investigated. Now, these could allow the attacker to establish a persistent presence in the system or re-enter later. File and data modifications. So it's determined which files the attacker accessed, altered, or deleted. This step is particularly important for ensuring the security of sensitive data. User activity tracking. The activities of any user accounts used by the attacker are tracked to determine what operations were carried out and whether unauthorized access occurred. Creating a timeline from the beginning of the incident is critical to understanding the sequence of events. When creating this timeline, you consider these points. Incident start. The point at which the attacker first gained access to the system is identified. This is necessary to determine the starting point of the incident. Attack progression. The path the attacker took within the system, what they reached, and what data they obtained are determined. Incident resolution. The timeline also includes when and how the attack was stopped, what actions were taken, and when the system was restored to a secure state. The result of the forensic analysis is a comprehensive report. It details the incident and the attacker's activities. So this report provides vital information for both technical teams and management. Root cause analysis is an in-depth investigation aimed at identifying the fundamental causes of the incident. Often what appears on the surface is just a symptom. Root cause analysis seeks to uncover the underlying reasons. This analysis not only resolves the current issue, but also identifies preventive measures to avoid similar incidents in the future. Let's have a look at the steps in root cause analysis. First, it's crucial to understand exactly what the incident was. Nature of the incident. Was there a data breach, a service disruption, or a ransomware attack? The type of incident is clearly defined. Affected systems. The systems affected, the data compromised, and the disrupted business processes are here identified. Security vulnerabilities. The security vulnerabilities exploited by the attacker are detected. For example, outdated software, weak passwords, or inadequate network security could be the root cause. A detailed analysis of the underlying causes of the incident is then conducted. Technical causes. The specific security vulnerability exploited by the attacker, how it was created, and why it was not detected earlier are here identified. Operational causes. Operational causes such as human errors, procedural gaps, or insufficient training are examined. Managerial causes. Managerial factors such as inadequate security policies, lack of resources, or weak oversight mechanisms are analyzed. Once root causes are identified, preventive measures are determined to ensure similar incidents do not occur again. Updating security configurations. Necessary configuration changes are made to close security gaps. Training and awareness programs. Training and awareness programs are organized to increase security awareness among employees. Reviewing security policies. Existing security policies are reviewed, and stricter measures are implemented if necessary. Root cause analysis strengthens the organization's security posture by addressing not just the symptoms, but the underlying causes of the incident. Lessons learned involve identifying the key takeaways from the incident, and then determining how to apply these lessons in the future. Every cybersecurity incident presents an opportunity for the organization to improve its security strategies. These lessons help continuously enhance the incident management process, as well as address any identified weaknesses. Here are the steps in the lessons learned process. A thorough review of the incident is conducted to determine what was done well and what areas need improvement. Successes and shortcomings. It's important to identify what was done well during the incident management response, as well as where there were shortcomings. For example, a quick decision to isolate systems may have prevented significant data loss, but then a lack of communication may have delayed the sharing of important information. Effectiveness of processes. The effectiveness of the tools, the playbooks, and the procedures used is evaluated. If any procedure didn't work as expected during the incident, these shortcomings need to be addressed. The lessons learned from the incident are shared with management and other relevant stakeholders. Now, this report provides insights into how the incident was managed, what was done correctly, and what needs to be improved. Incident summary is a brief summary of the incident. It covers the processes from the beginning to the end. Root causes, a detailed explanation of the identified root causes and the preventive measures to address these causes. Recommended improvements, a list of recommended actions to improve existing security structures and processes. Now, this may include both technical and operational changes. Then, based on the lessons learned, incident response plans, playbooks, and security policies are updated. This ensures that the organization is better prepared for similar incidents in the future. Reviewing playbooks. Playbooks are updated in light of the incident, correcting any missing or insufficient steps. Revising incident response plans. Incident response plans are revised based on the lessons learned from the incident. Updating security training. Training programs are updated to address any weaknesses identified during the incident. Post-incident activities allow an organization to continuously improve its security posture. Continuous improvement involves the ongoing review and enhancement of the security processes throughout all operations, not just after an incident. Here are the steps that make this phase successful. Key performance indicators, KPIs, are established to measure the success of an incident management process. These indicators assess how quickly incidents were responded to, how long it took to resolve them, and how effectively resources were utilized. All processes are regularly reviewed and updated as needed. In a world where technology and threats are rapidly evolving, remaining static poses a significant security risk. Continuous improvement of security processes should involve not just technical teams, but all stakeholders, including business units, management, users, etc. Everyone's security awareness should be increased, and the lessons learned from incidents should be integrated into the organization's overall culture. So, my friends, post-incident activities are a critical phase where the lessons learned from an incident are best evaluated, and the security posture is continuously improved. The goal of this phase is not only to resolve the current incident, but also to ensure that future incidents are managed more effectively. So now we hope that the insights that we covered here in these videos will guide you in your incident management processes, and you'll continue to develop best practices. Stick around. See you in the next video. Well, hello everybody, welcome back. Now, in this video, we're going to explore how an organization prepares itself in the world of cybersecurity. The preparation phase of the incident management lifecycle is actually the first line of defense for an organization against cyber threats. The better prepared you are, the faster and more effectively you can respond whenever an incident occurs. The preparation phase forms the foundation of all processes and is the key to success. Now, let's take a closer look at each component of this process. Perhaps the most critical element of the preparation phase is the incident response plan. This plan is a detailed guide that outlines how your organization will respond to potential incidents. The incident response plan is like a roadmap. It clearly identifies the steps your team will take, who will be informed, which systems will be protected, and which resources will be used during an incident. When creating an incident response plan, the following elements need to be carefully considered. Identification of incident types. The plan should identify potential types of incidents and their possible impacts on the business. For example, different response strategies should be developed for various incidents such as data breaches, service disruptions, or DDoS attacks. Assignment of roles and responsibilities. The responsibilities of each team member during an incident should be clearly defined. Questions like who will report the incident, who will isolate which system, and who will use which tools should be answered in this plan. Communication strategy. The plan should specify how and with whom communication will be maintained during an incident. This includes internal communication between teams, reporting processes to management, and communication with external stakeholders if necessary. Now, it's also critical that the plan is regularly reviewed and updated. As cyber threats constantly evolve, the plans must adapt to these changes as well. Tools are the technical and technological solutions used in the incident response process. The right tools are crucial for the rapid detection, analysis, and resolution of an incident. Incident response tools are used to monitor the health of your systems, detect unusual activities, and gather all necessary information for a quick response. The main tools include SIM, Security Information and Event Management Systems. These systems are used to centrally monitor and analyze security events. SIM systems collect data from multiple sources, analyze this data, and use it to identify potential threats. EDR, Endpoint Detection and Response Solutions. These tools continuously monitor endpoints, for example, user computers and servers, and then detect abnormal activities. EDR solutions enable the quick detection of incidents and, if necessary, the isolation of these endpoints. System automation tools. Tools like SOAR, Security Orchestration, Automation, and Response, automate and speed up the incident response processes. These tools automatically trigger the necessary steps for incident detection and response, accelerating the process. Now, of course, these tools must be properly configured and continuously monitored. Incorrectly configured or outdated tools can lead to false positives or missed threats. Playbooks are the standardized procedures that outline the steps to be taken in response to specific types of incidents. These playbooks clearly define what steps team members should take during an incident. Making quick decisions during incidents can be challenging. Therefore, playbooks serve as a guide to help team members act systematically. For example, during a ransomware attack, a playbook might include these steps. Detection. As soon as the first signs of ransomware are detected, anomalies in the system should be immediately identified. Isolation. Affected systems should be isolated immediately to prevent the spread of the attack. Notification. The incident management team and senior management should be informed without delay. Data backup. If possible, data should be restored from clean, secure backups. Recovery. After the ransomware is removed, systems should be brought back to operational status. Analysis. Post-incident analysis should be conducted to understand how the attack occurred, and then derive lessons for preventing similar attacks in the future. So we'll take a detailed look at this now, including the tools. So my friends, let's imagine we're facing a ransomware attack. These types of attacks are among the biggest cyber threats today. We'll go through the process step by step and see how to handle it. The first step is always be prepared. Before an attack happens, we as a team have developed an incident response plan where all roles and responsibilities are clearly defined. We regularly conduct simulations as if a real attack is happening. We continuously monitor our networks with our SIM systems, for example, Splunk or IBM QRadar, and then strengthen our defenses with IDS/IPS tools, for example, Snort or Suricata. At the same time, we protect all our devices with antivirus and endpoint security solutions, EDR, CrowdStrike, carbon black, etc. So this way, we're ready for any potential attack. So then, one day, our SIM system detects unusual activity. Our users can't access files because they're encrypted. Our IDS/IPS systems also detect abnormal network traffic. This is what a ransomware attack looks like. As the incident response team, we act immediately and open a ticket in our platform, for example, ServiceNow, to analyze the details. Acting quickly is critical here, because early detection leads to faster intervention. Then, to contain the attack, we act immediately. The first step is to isolate the affected systems with our EDR tools, CrowdStrike, Carbon Black. This is crucial to prevent the attack from spreading any further. We also monitor network traffic with tools like Wireshark to identify which systems the attack started from. Acting quickly and carefully in this step is essential to containing the incident. Then, after identifying the source of the attack, we work to eliminate the threat. We use our antivirus and EDR solutions to remove the malware from the systems. We deploy our patch management tools, for example, Microsoft SCCM, to close the vulnerabilities used in the attack. Additionally, we use security scanning tools like Nessus to rescan the systems. This ensures that the attackers can no longer access our systems. Once the threat is eliminated, we restore the affected systems from clean backups. We use backup tools like Veeam or Acronis for this process, and then after bringing the systems back online, we continue to monitor them with SIEM and EDR tools. This ensures that the systems are functioning correctly and securely. We also keep our stakeholders regularly informed through communication tools like Microsoft Teams or Slack. Finally, after the incident is fully resolved, we conduct a review. We detail how the incident was handled and which tools were used. We use incident response platforms like ServiceNow or Jira to document this. We share our reports with the company using information sharing tools like Confluence, drawing lessons for the future. And by updating our incident response plan, we become even stronger for the next potential attack. So that's how we handle a ransomware attack step by step, using the tools at our disposal. Being prepared and organized at every step is crucial for minimizing potential damage. Preparation is always our greatest strength. Tabletop exercises are simulations used to test incident response processes and plans. So in these exercises, team members work through specific scenarios and discuss how they would respond to incidents. Such exercises are crucial for assessing how prepared the team is to handle an actual incident. Now, a tabletop exercise might focus on a DDoS attack scenario, like this. A large-scale DDoS attack targets the organization's main website. Response process. During the exercise, the incident response team focuses on identifying the source of the attack, mitigating the traffic, and restoring the service. Communication. Team members establish effective communication to reduce the impact of the attack and take the necessary steps to bring systems back online as quickly as possible. Outcome evaluation. After the exercise, the team's performance is evaluated and feedback is gathered to further improve the processes. So then these exercises not only provide theoretical knowledge, but also test how quickly and effectively the team can act in the event of a real incident. Training, of course, is vital for continuously developing the knowledge and skills of incident response teams. Training ensures that team members can effectively use the incident response plans, tools, and playbooks. Regular training keeps the team informed about new threats and technologies, making them better prepared. But your training programs need to include basic incident response training, teaching new team members the fundamentals of incident response processes. Advanced technical training, providing in-depth knowledge about advanced tools and techniques for experienced team members. Practical exercises and simulations, simulating real incident scenarios during training to practice how the team will respond. Continuous updates. Training programs should be continuously updated in line with the evolving cyber threat landscape and technological advancements. Business continuity, BC, and disaster recovery, DR plans, are strategies developed to ensure that business operations can return to normal as quickly as possible following an incident. These plans are designed to minimize the impact of incidents on business operations and ensure the continuity of critical processes. Let's have a look at some of the key components of BCDR plans. Risk assessment, evaluating potential threats and their possible impacts on the business. Identification of critical processes, identifying the processes that are vital for business continuity and the resources needed to sustain these processes. Recovery strategies, defining how and when affected systems will be restored in the event of an incident. Regular testing, regularly testing BCDR plans to ensure their effectiveness and updating them as needed. Now, these plans not only cover the technical infrastructure, but also include workforce management, customer relationships, and the supply chain. Properly preparing and implementing these plans ensures that the business can survive and recover quickly during a disaster. So, my friends, the preparation phase is one of the fundamental pillars of success in the incident management process. The better prepared you are, the faster and more effectively you can respond whenever an incident occurs. The goal of this video is to convey the importance of preparation and what you need to pay attention to at every step. So we hope these insights will guide you in your future endeavors. Stick around, though. We'll see you in the next video. Incident management scenarios are a cost-effective and efficient way to improve your incident response skills, as well as identify potential issues in response processes. The response team or team members are presented with a scenario and a set of related questions. The team discusses each question to determine the most likely answer, but the goal here is to identify what the team would actually do and compare it to existing policies, procedures, and generally recommended practices to uncover any discrepancies or shortcomings. For example, an answer might reveal that the response could be delayed because a team lacks a particular software tool or because another team does not provide support outside of business hours. So after each question, there's a reference to the relevant sections of the document. Following the questions are scenarios, each accompanied by additional incident-specific questions. So we strongly encourage you to adapt these questions and scenarios for use in your own incident response exercises. Preparation. Would the organization consider this activity an incident? If so, which policies does this activity violate? What measures are in place to prevent this type of incident or limit its impact? Detection and analysis. Could the organization detect any precursors to the incident? Would any precursors prompt the organization to take action before the incident occurs? What indicators of the incident could the organization detect? Which indicators would make someone think an incident might have occurred? What additional tools might be needed to detect this particular incident? How would the incident response team analyze and validate this incident? Which personnel would be involved in the analysis and validation process? To whom within the organization would the team report the incident? How would the team prioritize the handling of this incident? Containment, eradication, and recovery. What strategy should the organization adopt to contain the incident? Why is this strategy preferable to others? What could happen if the incident is not contained? What additional tools might be needed to respond to this particular incident? Which personnel would be involved in the containment, eradication, and/or recovery processes? Post-incident activities. Who would attend the lessons learned meeting regarding this incident? What could be done to prevent similar incidents in the future? What could be done to improve the detection of similar incidents? And some general questions. How many incident response team members would participate in handling this incident? How many incident response team members does it take to change a light bulb? Besides the incident response team, which other members within the organization would be involved in handling this incident? To which external parties would the team report the incident? When would each report be made? How would each report be made? What information would you report or not report, and why? What other communications with external parties might occur? What tools and resources would the team use to handle this incident? If the incident had occurred on a different day and time, how would the handling process differ? If the incident had occurred in a different physical location, how would the handling process differ? All right, hello everybody. Welcome back. Now, in this video, we're going to cover a very important topic in cybersecurity. This is the concept of the cyber kill chain. This model actually helps us understand the steps involved in a cyber attack and shows us the stages an attacker goes through. By understanding these steps, we can detect and stop attacks early on. So, what exactly is the cyber kill chain? And why is it so important? Well, in short, the cyber kill chain is a model that breaks down all the steps an attacker takes before and after infiltrating a target system. So this model allows us to better understand how attackers operate and enables us to take preventive measures accordingly. Now, let's take a closer look at the steps. Reconnaissance. This is the first stage for the attacker. Here, the attacker gathers information about the target, identifies weaknesses, and decides on the best way to attack. It's like a scout gathering intel, but let's keep it straightforward. This stage involves collecting data to plan the attack. For example, finding out what software is being used and identifying vulnerabilities are key activities in this stage. Weaponization. After reconnaissance, the attacker now has enough information about the target's weaknesses. The next step is to create a tool for the attack. Now, this could involve developing malware, designing a phishing email, or similar activities, but in simple terms, the tools necessary to harm the target are prepared during this phase. Delivery. The attacker's weapon is ready, and now it needs to be delivered to the target. This stage involves getting the malware or other malicious tools to the target. Methods could include email, USB drives, or downloading via a website, among others. Exploitation. At this stage, the attacker uses the target's vulnerabilities to gain a foothold in the system. This might involve executing the malware or exploiting a security flaw. The goal here is to establish a presence in the target system. Installation. The attacker has gained access to the system. Now the attacker installs the malware to ensure a persistent presence within the system. This makes it easier for the attacker to continue their activities in the future. Command and control. At this point, the attacker is in the system and connects to a command and control C2 server to maintain control from the outside. This allows the attacker to remotely manage the compromised system and execute commands as needed. Actions on objectives. Finally, the attacker's ultimate goal is executed. During this stage, the attacker may steal data, sabotage systems, or carry out other damaging actions. By this point, the attacker has completed their mission within the target. So these steps of the cyber kill chain provide us with a roadmap for strengthening our defenses against cyber attacks. Stopping an attacker at any of these stages can prevent the entire attack. That's why knowing and understanding this model is crucial for cybersecurity professionals. So we've covered the key steps of the cyber kill chain. We hope this knowledge prepares you to defend against cyber attacks. But stick around. There's more in the next video. All right. Hello, everyone. So today's video is basically going to discuss an important analysis tool that's commonly used in the world of cybersecurity. It's called the Diamond Model of Intrusion Analysis. So this model provides us with a structured approach to understanding how to analyze attacks. Come on, let's dive into the details of this model. So the Diamond Model consists of 4 main elements: adversary, capability, infrastructure, and victim. So these elements represent the 4 corners of a diamond and give us a clear perspective on the relationships between them in analyzing attacks. Check it out. The first corner of the model is adversary. The adversary is the entity initiating the attack. Could be a hacker, a hacking group, or even a nation-state. The key is to understand the adversary's intentions and objectives. Knowing who the adversary is, their motivations, and their skills provide significant insights into how and why an attack is carried out. Additionally, understanding the adversary's past activities helps us plan our defenses against future attacks. The second corner focuses on the capabilities of the adversary. Here, we consider the tools, techniques, and methods the adversary can use. For example, this could involve a specific type of malware, social engineering techniques, or network-based attacks. So in other words, it's crucial at this stage to understand what the adversary is capable of and what resources they have at their disposal. The third corner is centered on the infrastructure used to carry out the attack. Attackers typically use various networks, servers, IP addresses, and domain names as part of their infrastructure. Analyzing this infrastructure helps us track the attacker's movement and identify potential threats in advance. Understanding the infrastructure components is valuable in comprehending the pathways the adversary follows. The final corner of the diamond represents the target of the attack, the victim. This could be an individual, an organization, or a system. Understanding who the victim is, why they were targeted, and what information the attacker sought provides insights into the overall purpose of the attack. So this information helps us understand the attacker's primary goal and which data might be at risk. The Diamond Model connects these 4 corners, allowing for a more in-depth analysis of attacks. So for instance, we can examine the relationships between these elements to determine the stage of an attack and predict the adversary's next moves. This enables our incident response teams to analyze attacks more effectively and take the right actions. In conclusion, the Diamond Model of Intrusion Analysis is a powerful tool for analyzing and understanding attacks. This model helps us grasp not just the surface features of attacks, but their deeper structures as well. So we hope this lecture aids you in developing a more comprehensive approach to cybersecurity incidents. See you in the next video. Well, hello everyone. So in this video, we are going to talk about the MITRE ATT&CK framework. So this holds a crucial place in the world of cybersecurity. This framework is a comprehensive knowledge base that helps us understand the tactics and techniques used by cyber adversaries. So in other words, it's an excellent guide for learning how the enemy moves what paths they take, and what actions they might employ. Come on, let's take a closer look at this framework. This framework stands for Adversarial Tactics, Techniques, and Common Knowledge. Now, as the name would suggest, it provides a detailed breakdown of how attackers progress through their attack processes and the techniques they use. Now, furthermore, it offers a knowledge base supported by real-world examples, meaning this information is not just theoretical, but derived from actual incidents. First and foremost, MITRE ATT&CK helps incident response teams analyze an attack and understand the path the attacker has taken. This allows us to determine the stage of the attack and anticipate the attacker's next steps. For instance, we can use this framework to learn how an attacker infiltrated our system or the methods they employed to cover their tracks. This framework breaks down the tactics and techniques used by attackers step by step. You might notice that each tactic serves a specific purpose. For example, the initial access tactic explains how an attacker first gains entry into a system. Under these tactics, various techniques are listed, such as phishing or spear phishing, which of course are methods attackers use to gain initial access. MITRE ATT&CK is divided into two main categories: tactics and techniques. Tactics are the general steps an attacker takes to achieve their goals, while techniques define the specific methods used to accomplish these steps. Tactics appear at different stages of an attack, usually representing the steps attackers take to overcome obstacles on their way to the target. So by using this framework, we can determine the stage of an attack and identify the techniques being employed. With this information, we can take the necessary measures to stop the attack or disrupt the attacker's plan. For example, if we identify that an attacker is using a particular technique, we can make the necessary adjustments to our systems to block that technique. Also, using this framework, we can strengthen our defense strategies. MITRE ATT&CK shows us how attackers think and move, allowing us to shape our defenses accordingly. We can identify our vulnerabilities and work to fortify them. Additionally, this framework helps us better understand security gaps and take proactive measures to address them. To wrap all that up, the MITRE ATT&CK framework is an invaluable resource in the cybersecurity world for understanding adversary tactics and techniques and developing effective defense strategies against them. So we hope this video helps you in your incident response processes. Take it and move forward. All right, hello everybody, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about an important guide in the field of security testing, the Open Source Security Testing Methodology Manual, or OSS-TIM for short. Now, this manual provides a clear and systematic roadmap for conducting security tests. In other words, it's a great guide to help us make our cybersecurity testing processes more structured. Let's take a closer look at this. OSS-TMM. This is an open-source security testing methodology manual. This guide was developed to standardize and make security testing processes more effective. Now, it's used as a reference point, especially by professionals conducting cybersecurity tests. In essence, it helps us learn which steps to take and how to carry them out when testing the security vulnerabilities of a system or application. Of course, security testing is a critical part of cybersecurity processes. However, these processes can often be ambiguous, and different approaches might be used each time. OSS-TMM helps eliminate these ambiguities by providing a standard structure for security testing processes. Now, this ensures that tests are conducted consistently and effectively every time. This manual breaks down security testing processes into specific phases and explains the steps to follow for each phase. Why don't we briefly review these phases? The first step in the security testing process is planning. In this phase, we determine what will be tested, which methods will be used, and the scope of the testing process. Additionally, the testing team is assembled and the necessary resources are identified. Planning is a critical step for the success of the entire process because it clarifies what we need to do and how we need to do it. After planning is complete, the testing process begins. So in this phase, security tests are conducted on the system or application using the methods identified earlier. These tests aim to identify the system's weak points and uncover potential security vulnerabilities. Every test performed during this phase is carefully documented, and the results are recorded. Once the tests are complete, the collected data is analyzed. This analysis helps us understand the severity of the identified security vulnerabilities and how they can be addressed. Afterward, a detailed report is prepared based on the analysis. Now, this report includes the findings from the testing process and recommended solutions. Finally, after the reporting phase, the improvement process begins. In this phase, the security vulnerabilities identified during the testing process are addressed, and the security level of the system is enhanced. The improvement process is an ongoing cycle, meaning the system is reviewed and retested as needed after each testing process. OSS TIM brings clarity and discipline to security testing processes. This manual ensures that security tests are conducted in a consistent and structured manner. It also ensures that no step in the testing process is overlooked and that everything is properly documented. In conclusion, the Open Source Security Testing Methodology Manual, OSS TIM, is an indispensable resource for making cybersecurity testing processes more effective and systematic. By using this manual, you can standardize your security tests and achieve a stronger security posture. See you in the next video. Welcome back, everybody. So, in this video, we're going to talk about an essential guide widely used in web application security, the OWASP Testing Guide. You might also hear it referred to as the OWASP Testing Guide. Now, this guide details the steps that need to be followed to identify security vulnerabilities in web applications and ensure their security. In fact, if you're conducting security tests or developing secure software, this guide will be an invaluable resource for you. So why don't we take a closer look? The OWASP Open Web Application Security Project Testing Guide is a reference manual for web application security. OWASP is a nonprofit organization supported by the global cybersecurity community, and this guide aims to standardize how security tests are conducted. It covers all the areas that need to be evaluated in terms of security in an application, and explains in detail what tests should be performed at each step. Web applications are constantly accessible over the internet, making them attractive targets for attackers. Therefore, it's crucial to test the security of an application. The OWASP Testing Guide provides techniques for testing various security vulnerabilities that may be encountered during this process. Using this guide helps you enhance the security of your application and provide stronger protection against potential threats. This guide is divided into sections that cover specific areas of security testing. Each section addresses a different aspect of the application and explains a test that should be performed in that area. Let's have a look at some of these sections. The first phase of the testing process, it's gathering information about the target application. So in this case, you determine which technologies the application is built on, what services are running, and which areas may potentially be at risk. This information is crucial for planning and executing the subsequent tests. Authentication is a security mechanism that allows users to log into the system. This section tests how secure the authentication processes are. Weak authentication mechanisms can allow attackers to gain unauthorized access to the system. Therefore, these tests are extremely important. Authorization is the security layer that determines what data users can access and what actions they can perform within the system. So these tests check whether users' access permissions are correctly restricted. Misconfigured authorization can lead to unauthorized access to sensitive data. Now, this section tests whether user inputs are properly validated. Input validation tests play a critical role in protecting against common attack vectors such as SQL injection and cross-site scripting, XSS. Ensuring that the application's input validation processes are secure helps protect against these types of attacks. Session management controls the processes when users log into the system and ensures the security of their sessions. These tests check the security of session identifiers, session continuity, and session termination. Secure session management helps protect user data. So, using this guide, you can comprehensively evaluate the security of a web application. The OWASP Testing Guide provides step-by-step guidance and explains how each test should be conducted. By following the sections in this guide, you can identify security vulnerabilities in your application and take the necessary measures to address them. So in conclusion, the OWASP Testing Guide is an indispensable resource for web application security. This guide allows you to conduct your security tests more effectively and systematically, and strengthens the security of your application. By using this guide, you can develop more resilient applications against cyber threats and better protect your users. All right, hello friends and welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about simulations and drills. Now, these are frequently used in the world of cybersecurity. These topics are crucial for developing the skills and strategic abilities of our incident response teams. So why don't we get started by discussing why simulations and drills are so important. You may be familiar with tabletop exercises. These are simulations used to test incident response processes and plans. So in these exercises, team members work through specific scenarios and discuss how they would respond to incidents. Such exercises are crucial for assessing how prepared the team is to handle an actual incident. Now, let's say a tabletop exercise might focus on a DDoS attack scenario. The scenario is a large-scale DDoS attack targets the organization's main website. Response process. During the exercise, the incident response team focuses on identifying the source of the attack, mitigating the traffic, and restoring the service. Communication. The team members establish effective communication to reduce the impact of attack and take the necessary steps to bring systems back online as quickly as possible. Outcome evaluation. After the exercise, the team's performance is evaluated and feedback is gathered to further improve the process. Now, these exercises not only provide theoretical knowledge, but also test how quickly and effectively the team can act in the event of a real incident. Now, let's just assume we're facing a ransomware attack. What should be our first step? Which department should we contact? How should we start the data recovery process? See, these scenarios help clarify the steps team members should take whenever they're faced with an incident, and help each unit understand their role. Now let's talk about live simulations. So here we act as if we are under a real-time attack. Live simulations test the team's ability to respond in real time. During such a simulation, stress management is crucial because decisions need to be quickly determined and executed. So let's say a data breach is occurring. First, we need to quickly determine which systems are affected. Then, how can we isolate the affected systems and prevent further leakage? In this process, we can see how our team works together during a crisis and identify areas needing improvement. After drills, we organize a detailed feedback session to evaluate the team's performance. These sessions help us understand our strengths and identify areas for improvement. Remember, our goal here is not to blame anyone, but to learn and grow together. Some of the important evaluation criteria include communication and coordination, quick decision-making and implementation, documentation and reporting skills. All right, my friends, we will now explore how to manage projects as well as conflicts in the incident response process. So we're going to see how important effective communication, documentation, and conflict resolution techniques are in this process. Establishing effective communication among teams during an incident is crucial for the success of the response. Correct and rapid information transfer prevents misunderstandings and accelerates control of the incident. Communication strategies include regular and brief updates, ensuring everyone receives the same information, communicating calmly and clearly during a crisis. Documentation involves recording the decisions made and steps taken during the incident. These documents are important for both post-incident evaluations and legal requirements. When working in a stressful and intense environment during a crisis, conflicts may arise within the team. Handling these conflicts constructively is vital to maintaining team dynamics. Let's have a look at a few conflict resolution steps. Empathize and understand the other party's perspective. Set a common goal and focus on that goal. Provide and receive constructive feedback. Finally, with effective conflict management, we can ensure teams work in harmony. Viewing conflict as a learning opportunity contributes to both individual and team development. So, my friends, with what we have learned in these videos, we can manage our incident response processes more effectively and efficiently. All right, my friends, if you're a technical professional and you believe a serious incident has occurred, but you don't have an incident response team available, well, how about a basic guide to help you through that situation? This list can actually serve as a quick reference when you're faced with a crisis and don't have the time to go through detailed documents. It's not ironic that the first step is document everything. So this includes every action you take, every piece of evidence you gather, and every conversation you have with users, system owners, and anybody else about the incident. Then, find a coworker who can assist you. Handling the incident will be much easier if more than one person is involved. So, for example, one of you can take action while the other documents it. Next, analyze the evidence to confirm that an incident has indeed occurred. Do additional research if necessary, for example, internet searches, software documentation, etc. And then reach out to other technical professionals for support in understanding the evidence. Then notify the appropriate people within the organization. This includes the IT manager, the head of information security, and the local security manager. Be careful, though, when sharing details of the incident. Only inform those who need to know, and use secure communication methods. If the attacker has compromised email services, well then, do not send emails about the incident. Then, notify external organizations like US CERT and seek assistance. If the incident is still ongoing, stop it. The most common way to do this is by disconnecting the affected systems from the network. Sometimes you may need to modify firewall and router settings to stop network traffic related to the incident. Preserve evidence from the incident. Make backups of the affected systems, preferably disk image backups. Make copies of log files that contain evidence related to the incident. Eliminate all traces of the incident. And this includes removing malware, inappropriate content, for example, pirated software, Trojan horse files, and any other changes the incident made to systems. If a system has been fully compromised, rebuild it from scratch or restore it from a clean backup. Identify and fix all vulnerabilities that were exploited. The incident may have occurred due to vulnerabilities in operating systems or applications, so it's crucial to find and fix these vulnerabilities to prevent the incident from happening again. Ensure that operations have returned to normal. Make sure that the data, applications, and other services affected by the incident are back to normal operations. Then, create a final report. This report should detail the incident response process. It should also include an executive summary of what happened and explain how having a formal incident response team could have helped handle the situation more quickly, mitigate risks, and limit damage. So that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. All right, hello friends. So in this video, we're going to focus on incident response in cloud environments. So cloud-based systems, they offer many advantages like flexibility and scalability, but they also come with certain challenges. Why don't we explore these challenges and how we can overcome them? Incident response in cloud environments is a bit different from traditional systems because data and applications are hosted on an infrastructure that we don't physically control. Now, this can create challenges in terms of visibility and control. Also, since we rely on the infrastructure of cloud providers, we need to manage our incident response processes according to their policies. Some of those challenges include data security and access control, limited infrastructure transparency, provider dependency, and integration issues. Fortunately, though, cloud-native tools can help us overcome these challenges. These tools allow us to monitor, analyze, and respond to incidents automatically. Cloud-based SIEM, security information and event management solutions, can be particularly effective for incident detection and response. Some of the recommended tools are security services from cloud providers like AWS GuardDuty and Azure Security Center, cloud-based log monitoring and analysis tools, automation and orchestration tools. So, my friends, by using these tools and collaborating closely with our providers, we can successfully manage incident response in cloud environments. Alrighty then, my friends. In this video, we're going to cover how to manage incidents in remote work environments. Now, of course, remote work increases flexibility, but it also brings some new security challenges. Why don't we see how we can address these challenges? Now, in a remote work environment, adapting incident response processes and ensuring team coordination become crucial. We must use the right tools to ensure effective communication and collaboration among team members. Maintaining seamless and effective communication while working remotely requires choosing the right tools. We can use platforms like Slack and Microsoft Teams for internal team communication. These tools are ideal for both written and verbal communication. To minimize the security risks brought by remote work, it's essential to implement measures like VPN usage and two-factor authentication. Additionally, we must ensure that employees' devices are up to date and secure. We can make incident management more effective for remote teams by taking some strategic steps. For example, we can keep team members continuously informed through regular virtual meetings and training sessions. Also, we should regularly update incident response plans to align with remote work conditions. A few recommended strategies include regular virtual meetings and check-in sessions, remote training and drills, continuous review of security policies. So, my friends, by applying these strategies, we can enhance the efficiency of our teams and succeed in incident management in our remote work environments. All right, my friends, this is the video where we're going to discuss the role psychological factors play in incident response. Handling stress during a crisis and making the right decisions is not going to be always easy. Why don't we just explore how we can manage this process better? It might not surprise you to know that during a crisis, our stress levels increase, which can affect our decision-making abilities. However, we can use some techniques to mitigate the negative effects of stress. One of the best ways to manage stress is being prepared. Through drills and training, we can help our teams remain calm and focused during a crisis. Some other stress management techniques include breathing exercises and short breaks, positive thinking and mental focus, prioritization and task delegation. Enhancing team resilience allows team members to work more effectively and cohesively during a crisis. For this, strengthening communication within the team and fostering team spirit is very important. Some strategies include regular team meetings and morale-boosting activities, creating an open and honest communication environment, highlighting team members' strengths. So to wrap that up, by considering psychological factors in incident response processes, we can help our teams cope with stress and make effective decisions. Remember, we're all human, and coping with stress is actually a learnable skill. All right, everybody. Now, in the world of cybersecurity, dealing with constantly evolving threats is like being in an ongoing war. Every new day can bring a new type of attack or a newly discovered vulnerability. So that's why in this video, we'll discuss the most current threats and trends in cybersecurity. We'll start with the evolution of ransomware. Attackers are no longer content with just locking your computer and demanding a ransom. Now they also steal your data and threaten to release it if you don't pay. It's like a thief not only breaking into your house, but also taking your personal belongings and then threatening to expose them to the world. But if you pay them a lot of money, maybe they'll give them back to you. Don't count on it. Organized cybercrime is another significant trend. Cybercriminals are now operating like organized crime syndicates. Models like ransomware as a service, RAS, allow attackers to package and sell malicious software. Now, this has made attacks more accessible and widespread. Of course, artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML, are also having a major impact in the cybersecurity world. These technologies can become dangerous weapons in the hands of attackers, while at the same time strengthening our defense lines. It's kind of like a game of chess, where you anticipate your opponent's moves and then develop your strategy accordingly. Cloud security, meanwhile, is an ever-evolving and attention-demanding area. As the use of cloud services increases, so do security vulnerabilities in this area. Storing your data in the cloud brings with it the risk of that data being stolen while in transit. This makes cloud security an area that, like a modern-day vault, requires constant protection. Finally, the security of IoT devices is becoming increasingly important. Even your refrigerator could be the target of a cyber attack. IoT device security isn't just about smart home systems. It also involves critical infrastructure like industrial control systems. Now, believe me, the most important thing we need to do to combat these threats is to establish a constantly updated security strategy. Education, awareness, and continuous learning are the cornerstones of this process. Now, additionally, tracking current threats through cyber threat intelligence and taking proactive measures accordingly is of the utmost importance. My friends, in this fast and ever-changing world, your greatest advantage will be continuously improving yourselves. So I wish you all the success on this challenging yet exciting journey. But in fact, I'll see you in the next section. All right, hello everybody. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to build a learning organization. Now, in our ever-changing world, organizations need to adapt quickly and renew themselves, pivot. So our key concept here is feedback loops. Feedback loops aim to create a culture where feedback can be received at every level and in every situation within an organization, creating an environment where everyone from employees to management can express their voices is crucial for development. Through these loops, we can identify what went well and what needs improvement after each incident or process. Regular and structured feedback helps strengthen organizational memory and make better decisions in the future. Now, for a feedback loop to be successful, feedback needs to be constructive and related to the work. The process should be open and transparent to allow everyone to express themselves comfortably. Once feedback is collected, it's essential to use this information for continuous improvement. By learning from past incidents, we can make more effective decisions in the future. For instance, when a security breach occurs, analyzing the incident thoroughly can help prevent similar situations from happening again. This process involves not only finding technical solutions, but also raising employee awareness and providing necessary training. Continuous improvement ensures that organizations are prepared for both today and the future. We need to have an open and innovative mindset. Well, hello again. All right, my friends. In this video, we're going to explore how to keep up with new technologies and innovations in the field of information security. Now, you already know that every day, new threats and solutions emerge in the security world. Developing effective strategies, though, to keep pace with these changes is essential. New software, tools, and technological advancements constantly emerge in the information security world. Regularly tracking these innovations ensures that organizations use the most current and effective security solutions. Technology blogs and publications. By regularly following cybersecurity blogs, technology publications, and industry reports, it's going to help you stay informed about new developments. There are also online communities and forums. Joining cybersecurity communities is a great way to share knowledge with other experts and engage in discussions about new technologies. Analyzing cybersecurity trends and industry threat reports helps minimize organizational risks by making strategic plans. Threat intelligence reports. Reviewing threat intelligence reports is critical for identifying potential threats and taking preventive measures. Examining and integrating innovative solutions contribute to organizations gaining a competitive advantage. Technological adaptation is the ability to adapt quickly to innovations, and that is a significant factor in an organization's success. Training and certifications. participation in training and certification programs that's related to new technologies will enhance employee skills and accelerate adaptation processes. Testing and application. Pilot testing new technologies and evaluating their applicability across the organization play a critical role in adaptation processes. All right, hello and welcome back. In this video, we will examine certification and professional development paths in the field of information security incident management. See, certifications are essential for those who want to build a career in this field, as they help demonstrate knowledge and advance careers. Certified Incident Handler, CIH. This demonstrates your proficiency in incident response and management. Certified Information Systems Security Professional, CISSP, provides a broad perspective on information security and in-depth knowledge in incident management. Certified Information Security Manager, CISM, specializes in information security management, risk management, and incident management. This is particularly beneficial for management and leadership positions. Certified Information Systems Auditor, CISA. This is ideal for those who want to specialize in information systems auditing and control, important for auditing incident management processes. Certified Ethical Hacker, CEH, teaches network security and cyber attack techniques, helping you develop a proactive approach in incident management. GIAC Certified Incident Handler, GCIH, provides in-depth knowledge of incident response techniques, attack detection, and malware analysis. CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst, CISA Plus. This is designed to develop threat detection, analysis, and incident response skills, enhancing security operations and analytical capabilities. Preparing for these certifications requires not only theoretical knowledge but also practical experience. Therefore, working with real-world scenarios makes the certification process easier. In addition to certifications, continuous learning and professional development are also important. In this rapidly changing technological era, attending regular training is essential to stay up to date. Webinars, conferences, and online courses are great ways to keep track of the latest information. Joining professional organizations and expanding your network can also be highly beneficial. Continuous learning helps you better prepare for the challenges you'll face throughout your career. Therefore, don't hesitate to invest in yourself and always strive to learn new things whenever possible. So these videos will enhance the comprehensive improvement and learning section, supporting participants' personal and professional development. But remember, knowledge constantly evolves and changes. It's our responsibility to progress with this change. We wish you all the best success. Now, of course, for those looking to build a career in cybersecurity, there are many paths ahead of you. You can think of it as a journey. There are multiple routes to the destination, each with its own advantages and challenges. So in this video, we'll talk a little bit about how you can progress on this journey and how you can continue your professional development. Now, first of all, the field of cybersecurity offers a wide range of career options: ethical hacker, security analyst, incident response specialist, security manager, security architect, and the list could go on. These are just a few examples. See, when deciding which path you want to take, you should consider your interests and strengths. Now, of course, certifications also play an important role on this journey. Certifications such as CISIP, CEH, and CISM can help you document your competencies and provide significant advantages in the industry. These certifications can be seen as a kind of security passport, opening new doors for you. As you advance on your career path, It's really important to develop not only your technical skills, but also your soft skills, your human interface skills. Yeah, a good cybersecurity professional is not just someone who protects systems, but also someone who solves problems, communicates effectively, and works well within a team. This is kind of like being a general who not only wields a sword skillfully, but also develops strategy. Professional development also involves continuous learning. The world of cybersecurity is changing rapidly, and you need to keep up with this change. Courses, conferences, webinars, and industry publications are just a few ways to keep yourself up to date. Remember, this is a marathon. You should constantly strive to improve yourself and remain open to learning. My friends, as you progress in your cybersecurity career, try to add value to both yourself and those around you with every step you take. Don't be intimidated by the challenges you'll face on this journey. Each challenge is actually an opportunity to learn. All right, my friends, we want to thank you for hanging in there and sticking with it. We have explored the importance of incident management and response in the world of cybersecurity. We've certainly covered a lot about it. I know you've learned a lot about it, too. Now, we believe that with the information we've shared throughout this course, you'll be more aware and equipped to tackle cyber threats. And as you complete this course, remember that what you've learned is not just theoretical knowledge, but also supported by practical applications. Being prepared for situations you may encounter in real life and continuing to learn and develop yourself will give you a significant advantage in your cybersecurity career. And keep in mind that cybersecurity is a dynamic field, and new threats emerge every day. Therefore, you should constantly keep yourself updated and acquire new skills. In fact, you're already showing the determination and perseverance to do so. But finally, I want to thank you once again for joining us on this journey, and I wish you the best of success in your career. And I certainly hope our paths cross again someday. If you do have any questions or anything you'd like to share, please feel free to reach out to us anytime. Take care. Stay safe in cybersecurity. Thank you again. Bye for now.